Time for the late night boxing talks. Yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world of boxing. We got the Clark Kents on. Clark Kents. See what I mean? And we out here, yo. There seems to be a rumor floating around by way of a website called Spectrum. The website seems to indicate that Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. may be taking place in the month of June. And the silence from both Spence and Crawford, more or less, as to what their next move is going to be, lends credence to the notion. There was actually a tweet by way of Michael Benson a little over a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, that they had re-entered talks. I did a video on it, and you guys know how I feel about it. If they fight, great, I get to watch Errol get knocked out. If they don't fight, well, I didn't think they were going to anyway. So it's neither here nor there for me. Jack, what it do? It's neither here nor there for me. If they do fight, great. Then I get to be right about another fight prediction because I'm still confident that Terrence knocks Errol Spence Jr. out. Errol doesn't live like a fighter, and it shows up in the ring. That type of stuff shows up in the ring. It's not going to show up with an Ugas, It's not going to show up with a Danny Garcia. Those guys are a cut below you. It's not going to show up in the ring with those guys. But that guy's not a consummate professional. He himself was complaining about, having to make the weight that, he's busted at the seams. He's been making welterweight for years now, where other fighters have already become multi-weight champions. Fighters like Usyk and Stevenson and Valdez. I mean, I can't tell you how many fighters, I lost count, how many fighters saw themselves become multi-weight champions during Errol's tenure as a welterweight champion. That you just, shit, get off the pot, bro, And that website, I'll probably pull up the screenshot for those who haven't seen it. I retweeted it yesterday. A website that goes by the name of Spectrum. They have several box office fights they show that are on schedule. And for whatever reason, they actually have Spence versus Crawford set to go down in June on their schedule by way of whoever their sources are. So maybe we are going to get the fight after all. If we don't, well, I didn't think we would. But if we do, it's all right. That's good. Well, what it do? Bobby Light, what it do? I am wise. I'm a Capricorn. I'm wise, talented, powerful, also sleepy, and lazy, and old. But I don't look old. But I am old. It's true. You saw Spence is the second longest welterweight champion. He didn't fight for 3 years. Yeah, it's silliness. It's kind of like the Tyson Fury Jack Dempsey thing they did to where, he surpassed Jack by 2 months as lineal champion. Never mind that he actually retired 2.5 of those years, 2.5 of the 7, and that, the rule's supposed to be that if you retire, the lineal is forfeit and the lineage starts over. When he beat Vlad, he retired for 2.5 years after that. But, even if we go with that, that's got to be one of the weakest lineals I've ever seen. Like, even if I allow him that, what, fuck it. You were lineal, you were lineal, right? Let's just count the 2 years you were away as you being lineal. You weren't fighting anybody. And what are your lineal title defenses? Sefer Seferi? Francesco Pianetta? They try so hard, man, they just try so hard to gaslight everybody and hoodwink them about how great that guy is, and it's ridiculous. And with Spence, it's the same thing. They're like, yo, dog, in the last 3 years, you fought only 2 times. In the last 3 years, you fought in late 2020 once, Danny Garcia. You didn't fight at all in 2021, and you only fought once in 2022. Injury or otherwise, it seems like the only reason you're still a champion is because you barely fight. You barely fight anybody. So, like I said, if they actually make that fight between him and Crawford for June, which I think is the better play anyway, because I'm sorry, you're not going to get my money for a Thurman fight. I'm not like, that's a fight that I intended on protesting, that if they make it, I'm not buying it. I'll buy Garcia versus Davis, and I may buy Plant versus Benavidez, but I'm not buying that. I'm not gonna buy that crap. That's crap. You know? It's ridiculous, man. Not putting up with that. And yeah, so that's what's going on. That there's actually a rumor that Spence versus Crawford may go down in June. Fury never wanted to fight Usyk. In reality, he's the most insecure champion I've ever seen. If he loses the aura of invincibility, he's gone. Yeah, I agree with that too. His father is saying that, he had to take the B-side share. That's not true. When he fought Wilder, it was a 50-50 split. For the first two fights, it was a 50-50 split, even though Fury didn't even have a belt, and it was a 50-50 split. Even though Fury wasn't even a draw like that. That's the other thing. In the first fight, remember that it was Vlad's fans in Dusseldorf that packed out the house. That wasn't Fury fans. That was Vlad fans. And when he came back from all of that, they gave him a 50-50 split, even though he didn't have a belt. It's just, at this point, it's just lame. And it's excuses, and it's like, I'm tired of this dude, to be real. Like, everything got to be a soap opera with this tweaker, bro. Everything got to be a soap opera with that dude. You can't just give him the 50-50, bro. He has 3 belts. He's been on pay-per-view 2-3 times in the UK before. Give him the 50-50 and cut the fucking crap. It's an undisputed fight. You want the fight or not? The way that they do shit, they try to make it seem like, it's the other guy that doesn't want to fight. Bro, nobody is scared of Tyson Fury, bro. For real, like, who is scared of Tyson Fury? You got people chasing you down for a fight, bro. You're not going to convince nobody that, Usyk is terrified of Fury. Really, fam? Who do you think believe that shit? Motherfucking shit is dumb, bro. And I'm sick of John. I'm sick of Tommy. I'm sick of all of them. That's why I need Jake to win this weekend, bro. Give me a second. Got another one of these fucking weirdos on Twitter. I think his name is Trackanell or whatever it is. I'm like, what do you want to do now? You want to argue about Errol and Crawford for an hour? Go make some money or something, bro. 'Cause that's what I'm doing. Like, go make some money or something. I don't care if you like Spence. That's one thing that's consistent about the Spence fans. They love to argue, and it's because they feel a responsibility to have to defend him. I'm over that Spence and Crawford shit, bro. All I know is if they fight, Spence is getting knocked out. That's all I know. I've been saying it just like I said. I said it 2 years before he knocked out Sean Porter. He will be the first and only guy to knock out Sean Porter. And lo and behold, the prediction stuck. And that was way before they fought. And I said, Errol can't knock Sean Porter out. He don't got power like that. I've been said that. He don't got power like that. Crawford does. And that's why I know if they fight, not saying that they will, but hopefully if they do, if that rumor checks out and they do fight, I got Crawford, bro. That's all. That's all. Ain't no arguing. I don't care who you think is at fault. I don't care, bro. I don't care about none of that shit. All Spence's fans is weirdos. I hate y'all. Love how people will be up in arms over Conor Benn, who conveniently forget all the fighters just in the last 3 years. Exactly, bro. The nerve of Lou DiBella. The nerve. Like, bro, you promoting a guy that tested positive for 4 performance-enhancing drugs, bro. Keep your Sally Struthers, like, man, if you don't get out of here, man. Huh? What'd you say? I am. I'm not criticizing a guy for using them. I'm criticizing a hypocrite who's promoting a fighter that used pads, but he want to criticize another fighter for the same shit. That's what I'm doing. I don't care about motherfuckers using pads. As far as I'm concerned, everybody's on pads. I'm on pads. Yup, that's a performance enhancing drug. Café Bustelo. Perform on them cheeks. That's what. No, I'm just. Shit. If Ugas could hurt Spence, then so can Crawford. I agree. I agree. I don't think Spence is all that. I never have. He's a basic southpaw with a good jab and a decent body attack. That's what I see that he has. That he's got a good jab. I'll give him that. Good jab, good body attack, good at maintaining distance, but his defense is leaky. He doesn't make very many in-fight adjustments. His idea of an in-fight adjustment, which really isn't even an adjustment because he does it every fight, is he ups the tempo after a couple of rounds. After, say, 3 or 4 rounds, he'll just start throwing more punches. But he gets hit a lot. And it's the weirdest thing that Spence's fans think that for some reason Crawford gets hit too much. Bro, Errol literally gets hit more than Crawford. That's a fact, a statistical fact. But you know, man, I don't talk to them guys, to be real. And I don't want to. I don't care. If they never fight, then we ain't got no reason to talk. If they do fight, bro, I got Crawford knocking your boy out. That's all I know. That's all I know. And that's all I need to know. Yeah, same old guy. Same old Spence fans always want to argue like a bunch of females. Always want to argue. Bro, listen, I know you hearing me, right? If you want to talk to me about your alcoholic man crush, right? Because that's why y'all like Spence. Because y'all swing that way. If you want to talk to me about your alcoholic man crush that be flipping Ferraris, just jump on this live. Problem solved. Jump on this live so I can embarrass you in real time. Otherwise, stop talking to me. Stop quote tweeting me. Y'all dudes is weird. Look at all the weird shit y'all got to do just to use social media. Shit is weird, bro. Nah, I don't got to go get a Google stock image and use it as a profile picture. I don't have to hide my identity to use social media. You fucking weirdo. Like, get out of my face, bro. What's good, young bias? Zolani Tete. Zolani Tete. Fury was going to get 50-50 with you. That's what I'm saying, Jay. It's all sucker shit with that tweaker, bro. You got 50-50 with Wilder having no belt and not selling shit. You didn't sell shit, and they gave you 50-50. You ain't have a belt or nothing, and they gave you that. And then they gave you that in the second fight, too. AJ was going to give you that, and we all know he draw more than you do, and he was going to give you that. What you had, one belt. That dude is a sucker, man. I can't wait for him to leave boxing. Thinking they're going to fight in June without discredit the big. Yeah, Spence fans are weird, man. I don't care. Put them all in a blender. Open up the chat to the panel. Yeah, I mean, these dudes just want to argue about Spence all day. Shout out to my man Julius Henderson in Florida. He said it best. Them dudes literally sit online all day arguing with people. not making no money off that shit. I'm talking about 8 and 9 hours at a day. They'll do a whole shift on Twitter just arguing about Spence and Al Haymon. Y'all motherfuckers, man. At least make some money doing that shit. Motherfuckers is weird. Get the fuck away from me. Arum, oh God, get off his fucking dick, man. I'm telling you. And then when he get knocked out, it's gonna be the same shit as the Wilder shit. The day he get knocked out, it's going but I can already see that shit. Like the day if they ever fight and Bud knock this motherfucker out, motherfucker's gonna be on suicide watch, bro. That motherfucker get knocked out. Yo, Julio was on fire yesterday, bro. I watched that shit back, Julio. You was killing it, bro.
I appreciate it, big dog.
He said, yo, this dude got shares in Oscorp. That shit was your timing. I don't know if you do stand-up, but your timing was just like, man. Like, yeah, yo, he got shares in Oscorp, bro.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How y'all doing, gentlemen?
Shit. Same shit, different day, man. Fucking...
Heard that.
Stupid ass Spence fans, and it's like it's always a guy with it's always a guy concealing his identity, bro. For what fucking reason would you have to conceal your identity to use social media? For what reason?
Know that guy that you're arguing with right now? I saw it. Like he's one of 3 of the same people.
I know.
I'm sure you know who it is. Yeah.
I know. I know who it is. That's why I'm like, yo, dog. Like you really got to make accounts just for people to talk to you, yo.
Like, but for stuff like this though, that makes me not like fighters. It's their fans. Just shit like this. Like honestly, like the fan base is so toxic. Like this is why I want these fighters to get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, but irrespective of the fighter too, just as a person, as me to him. Never mind Errol, as me to him. It ain't even an Errol shit. It's that you got bitch tendencies. Because why would you have to do that to talk to somebody on Twitter? You got broads showing their whole ass and titties and all this shit on Twitter, and you got to hide and creep and use Google stock and like, man, what type of shit is that, bro?
Kid shit. That's what it is. Ain't no romance shit.
That's some little kids. Like, yeah, let me jump into my alternate, and that's why I get offended when people accuse me of having alternate accounts. I have one Twitter account. I've only ever had one Twitter account at a time. I'm not no motherfucker 16, no tween to be having alternate accounts so I can talk like what kind of shit is that, bro? Fuck out of here. I'm biased. What it do, Leo? What it do?
What's good? What's good? How you doing this wonderful evening?
Well, they're saying, there's a rumor, and who knows if there's even any substance to the rumor, but there's a website called Spectrum that shows different box office fights scheduled throughout the month of June and July and so on and so forth. And in the schedule, it shows Crawford versus Spence under the month of June, which has given rise to the notion that they might fight, maybe they will fight, because the other angle of it, irrespective of what we want to believe, but the other angle of it is, if you know anything about boxing, and you know anything about the industry of boxing, never mind the sport, bro, who's going to buy Thurman versus Spence?
I'm not.
I'm not either.
Who's going to buy?
I mean, but Joe's no cap. That's on that website. The schedule or.
Yeah, it's on it. It's on it. If you go to my Twitter, Twitter page, go to my page and just scroll down, and you're gonna see something that I posted, and I said, "Oh, well, that's an interesting entry in the month of June." Just go to my page and you'll see it, and it shows Crawford versus Spence in the month of June.
And when you see that, you're going to see what I sent, because Steven Espinosa responded to that and said, sorry to bust you guys' bubbles, but, there's nothing confirmed in regards to that, basically. And, somebody submitted that date. But see, it don't make sense, though. What he said would be relative if we were talking about November back in October. But why would they submit this? Because this is submitted from somebody at a higher up to all these cable networks. Remember, the cable networks just are showing the schedule. So that means somebody communicated to them to put this on the schedule. This is not something that happened a long time ago. But the thing is, Espinosa is trying to paint it as this was something done in the past, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would it be done in the past for June of this year? Exactly. I think he's trying to hide his hand. I mean, it's good news to some degree, but you take it as a grain of salt.
No, I'm with you on bias. I'm thinking about it. Look, if they fight, great. If they fight, great. But if they don't, well, I didn't think they were going to fight anyway.
I'm past
the good
it.
signs,
I'm past
though,
it at
Jules.
this point,
Real quick, there's a couple good signs. The fact that Wilder versus Ruiz was going to be a June fight and it's not been made by PBC, and Eddie Hearn may take the fight is a good sign. The second sign is there's been no official word on Thurman and Spence. There's been dead silence. You haven't heard a word from Thurman, and Thurman is really cool with Ness. But they have not talked at all about that. He hasn't said, usually when a fight is made, Thurman runs his mouth. Thurman has a good mouthpiece. You haven't heard any.
And we ain't. And look, I know that there's basically, let's call it 2 months, because I remember that they were throwing around the month of May for Thurman versus Spence. I remember seeing that tweet that initially they were going to do it in April, but then they pushed it back to May because it was too close to the Garcia fight. And look, it's not made. Why is it not made? Why?
I got a theory. I could be wrong about this, but do you think that it's possible due to maybe public backlash because nobody really wants to see this fight? I mean, do you think that could be possible?
Rick Glacier said, shout out to Coach Malika. Appreciate you, bro. Rick Glacier said something that's compelling. He said that they're kind of in the hot seat in the sense that you got to start making fights that move the needle. You have to start making fights because the budget is going to get slashed even more this year. So you need to find a way to generate interest and to generate numbers. And honestly, I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm not saying it to be petty. I'm being honest. Who the fuck is going to buy Spence versus Thurman?
That'll move no damn needle.
That don't move no needle.
For what it's worth, like Spectrum is basically the official internet and cable provider of my city. And I haven't heard anything about that or seen anything about that shit. So I don't know if that shit is real or not. And if it is in June, I think the real reason is because Spence is fat. And he's not going to be ready for May. No, like legitimately, I don't think he's ready to fight in the coming months.
Not judging by how he looked in the Frank Martin fight. Yeah,
I don't disagree with you. There's that which is also compelling. That for making whatever you're going to make for a Thurman fight that people aren't really going to buy, you might as well do the Crawford fight. But the other angle of it is, and I've talked about this in the past, that you go to 54, there's no super fights at 54. There aren't any. No, there aren't any. Like, seriously, there's nothing at 54 that has been built up as much as the Crawford fight. Not saying that the Crawford fight is huge, because we all know that it's not. But it's bigger than a Fundora fight. Yeah, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than a Thurman fight. Go ahead, Leo.
Okay. Keith Thurman is supposedly the mandatory for the WBC. But Haney is number one. Is interim champion by the IBF. What if Errol Spence vacates those belts? Because 2 of the 3 belts they are going to be on the BBC. Errol Spence is going to have the Terence Crawford fight, but at least for that fight, the undisputed championship of the welterweight championship is going to be saved from Crawford.
Well,
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that he might do it, but it won't be at 47, you mean, right? That he'll vacate one of his belts.
Or maybe vacates all the belts, because I don't think it's not after this year, it's not staying in the welterweight division.
Listen, it's the situation as it is. Just the situation as it is, looking at it, right? It's like you can avoid Crawford based on what we think, just what we think. You can avoid Crawford and not lose and continue to play it safe. But if you do that, how long are you going to do that? This dude, I'm telling you that I see a dude that's on the verge of retirement. That's what I see, even though he's unbeaten. But I see a dude that like, yo, bro, that dude's foot is halfway out the door. You don't even fight like that. And you coming up, you in your early 30s now, but you getting closer to your mid 30s, and you don't even be fighting like that. We know you don't live like a fighter because you be drinking and all that shit. So it's like, really though, like, there's nothing that he's doing that shows me that he gonna keep fighting.
By the way, Jules, let me ask you this. Let me pose this question to you guys. Do you think that Spence is really going through the gears since he's come back in the ring?
No. To be honest with you, no.
Why is that?
Well, one look, like this part of it, it boils down to preference, Jay. That or opinion, I should say. That I always thought Danny was a tune-up fight. Some guys will look at Danny and they see something that I don't see. I said he gonna beat that dude, bro. Danny always lets the other guy lead the dance, which is why he's always a step behind the other guy. Like he was a step behind Thurman, and he was a step behind Porter. He was a step behind Spence. I looked at him as a tune-up fight. I still look at him as a tune-up fight.
And that's what it was.
And that's what it was to me. That's what that was to me. Now I'm not to me, it was a tune-up fight, bro. Now look, he beat Ugas in what I still believe was a very funny-looking fight, but it wasn't a fight where he had to go through the gears per se. Like it wasn't like, oh, you had to go through a war. It was just really you just punching him up while he's in a high guard. Like that was really it. Like he was just punching him. He still got rocked. But
I counted 3 times he got hurt in the fight.
So when I look at it, so to answer that question, has he been through the gears, let's say, since the Sean Porter fight? Because I do think he had to go through the gears in the Porter fight. He got hit a lot in that fight.
100%, absolutely. 100%.
But that was what, 2019?
Late 2019.
He ain't been through the gears since 2019, bro.
Sean damn near beat his ass. Sean damn near beat him.
Wasn't that a split decision? Unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, it was, despite the knockdown. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but Julius, I'm not talking about Errol Spence. Errol Spence might be done in a couple of years. I'm talking about. I don't know if Al Haymon is ready to give up the hegemonical control he has on the welterweight division. He still has 2 guys in the top by the WBC and the IBF. So for me, maybe the move is vacate those belts. Now
he will.
I don't look. I could see the IBF being vacated, but remember that is not a Haymon fighter. Boots is not a Haymon fighter. He's not. You know what I mean? Then you got the BA. Now Aymontis Stanionis is also not a Haymon fighter. That's a Richard Schaefer fighter, and Richard might have a relationship with Al, but we all know Aymontis Stanionis about to lose that belt, that version of it, to Virgil. So that takes those 2 guys out. Then you look at the BC. We know what's going on right now. Thurman is supposed to be the mandatory to the BC. That is a Haymon fighter. But who's behind him? Who's the guy behind him? That's because I still don't know. If it's not a Haymon fighter, does he really have hegemonical control at welterweight? Because it looks to me like he's losing his grip.
Right.
Think about it. Boots is not his fighter. That's Cameron Duncan's fighter. That's not his fighter. And Aymontis, even though he's been fighting on PBC shows, he's not a PBC fighter. Not that it matters anyway, because you about to get knocked out by Virgil. So does he have hegemonical control at welterweight? It don't look like it. Not more.
Not the new wave of guys, nah.
That's what I'm saying. Like when Sean and Danny and Thurman and Spence was there, yeah, he had control. But what I see is no, you don't have control. You don't have control. All these other guys that's coming through, some of them is yours, some of them ain't. But it ain't what it was 3 years ago. It's not. Sean retired. Danny moved up. Spence is an alcoholic on Quaaludes. It ain't what it was.
Okay, but Julius, let's talk about Boots Ennis. This guy, let's say he has been avoided. Let's say that for sake of the argument. What do you think is gonna happen if he doesn't close a deal with PBC having that belt? He ain't getting any fights. So I think the move for him he has to sign with the PBC to have any kind of fight, or straight up jump from Showtime and try to find another promotional company to be associated.
There could be 2 plays, Leo, because don't forget that Al Haymon just poached Brandon Lee from Cameron Duncan. For those that didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
So in that case, nothing will change then.
No, see, let's say this. See, this is the thing. Okay, Brandon Lee hasn't been in any meaningful fights. I think we all know that.
Nope.
But also, up until recently, he was not a PBC fighter, even though he was fighting on PBC shows. He was a Cameron Duncan fighter, just like Boots. So Al Haymon poached him, and I believe that if there's a play, it would have to be to poach Boots eventually. But let's fast forward. If you poach Boots, who gonna fight him?
Mm-hmm.
Who gonna?
Nobody wants to fight him now.
Ain't nobody there too. Danny moved up. I don't think Danny moved up. That's not my imagination. He went to 54. Now they talking about him fighting at 60 against Lara. Danny moved up. Sean retired. If Spence do fight Thurman and he do knock Thurman out or he beat him, you think he gonna fight Boots? No. So
he ain't got no interest in Boots at all.
Exactly. So think about it. Whether he a Haymon fighter or he not a Haymon fighter, what fucking difference does it make? Ain't no signature fights. The only signature fight for him in the position that he is in is Virgil Ortiz. And that shit ain't gonna happen. Nah, it ain't. Not at 47.
You know what? If he moves up to 154, what the hell has he got there? He ain't got nobody.
No. That's where I disagree. Let's say he becomes a Haymon fighter, right, country? Let's just say that, eventually the deal with Cameron is up and he goes into the PBC. If you go to 54, there they can get you some fights. They can get you Sebastian Fundora. They could get you Erickson Lubin. They could get you Tony Harrison. Maybe you could pick up a vacant title because Jermel's not going to stay up there forever. So it only works out for Boots to join the PBC if he go to 54. At 47,
I was actually referring to Spence. I'm sorry, my bad.
well, to that point, that Boots could join the PBC at 47. The well is running dry anyway. They don't have nothing. They don't have nothing like that. What they gonna get you, Riverside Rocky? What are they gonna get you, bro? So
get him out of the bar. He's half drunk.
Yeah,
Riverside Rocky, Lord have
mercy. He's got the interim title right now, and it's only a matter of time before he's upgraded to full champ. He's not about to fight anybody for that belt or Spence.
Yeah, He not. We gotta look at the IBF's rank standings because you know what they might do? They might just elevate him straight away. Because
I think they will.
But even if they do that, the question then becomes moving forward whether he's a PBC fighter or not. Who are you going to fight? What is your signature fight? Because you actually need a signature fight more than you need a belt. You need you need to beat up on somebody that is relevant, and that shit don't look like it's going to happen.
Especially because of Boots' last fight, the way he got frustrated and couldn't cut off the ring, he didn't look too good.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even with how he looked, Thurman ain't going to fight him. It's not like old eras of boxing where, if a guy look a little bit human, you might could get him some fights. Them guys that he got, that Al got, they don't want to do nothing. And all of them, to me, when I look at them guys, that crop of guys, Thurman, Spence, bro, these dudes don't even fight like that. They don't even fight like that to where, are we going to see Errol, for example? Is he going to fight 2 times this year?
No.
He's fought once since 2020.
He said he fought in 2 years.
He fought. So the last time he fought was in April of 2022.
Ridiculous, bro.
And he didn't fight all of 2021. So
it's ridiculous. But this is what I mean. That those guys are quasi-retired to me, and this was your welterweight stronghold. That's what that was his empire at 147. The welters. Well, Sean retired. Danny moved up. I don't know what's going to happen with Thurman. I don't know if Spence is next. I don't know if he isn't. But it's not a stronghold anymore, clearly. It's not. You don't have all the keys.
And lo and behold, another year has passed and Keith hasn't fought. What a shock.
That dude literally fought in February of last year, right? And the way I feel, which is why it looks a certain way to me, okay, if y'all was serious about doing Spence and Crawford, whoever got that fucked up mic, fix that shit. Nobody want to hear that shit. If you was really trying to do Spence and Crawford last year, if that was a serious thing, why didn't Thurman fight? I know why. Because y'all wasn't trying to do that. Y'all kept him there yo, this shit not real. You got Spence next. That's what I see. Because why didn't you fight? You fought in February of last year, but then you sat out the rest of the 10 months of 2022. They couldn't find you nobody to fight. Nobody.
I want to add something to this.
More active than you.
I want to add something to that.
Go ahead, Unbiased.
All right, so this is where I might give Spence some credit because I think Spence is pushing back. That's why because you have had no Thurman in Spence announcement. You haven't heard anything from Thurman. I personally believe they've tried to push Thurman on him, and I think Spence might be pushing back on it, saying, I actually want the Crawford fight. And it's looking like that could be the case. Again, we can't count none of this because you already know how this game goes. But I think I may have to give Spence some credit because if he was just willing to say, F it, I'm fighting Thurman, that fight would have been announced already. That fight has not been announced. There's not been a peep.
I agree with you, and Crawford said something that was weird earlier this week. He said, "Y'all gonna be so sick." He said that.
He said y'all gonna be hot when he was telling someone accused him of ducking Spence. He was like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be hot. So
See,
I think that, and I'm like, why would he say that? Like, what could that mean? And then this June shit at Spectrum starts up, and I'm like,
but also Spence fans have menopause. So maybe he meant that literally.
I hate it when these fighters talking riddles, man. Can't they just be straightforward shit, bro? You know what I mean?
No. Because at the end of the day, they have to talk in riddles because they're contractually obligated. So I can see why they're doing what they're doing. But like now, let's talk about it. Terrence Crawford got on Twitter. He was talking that gangster shit to content creators, and he was talking, gangster shit to, the Spence butt buddies. So at the end of the day, and I honestly do think Errol Spence does want this fight. And that meme me and Julius were laughing at with Lenar Young, as Al Haymon was the guy was dancing and Lenar Young was acting as Errol Spence. I honestly do think that Errol wants this fight. I actually think he does.
But also, let's say this too. Something is going on over there because we're seeing a lot of outsourcing. But that's if these fights come into fruition. For example, Fulton is going to Japan. Tony is going to Australia. Imagine if Wilder versus Ruiz gets picked up by Matchroom. If all of those things happen, there's an air of dissension over there that perhaps the power that he had, he doesn't have it anymore. And now these guys
or he's finally actually playing the advisor role that he's supposed to and not overseeing his maybe he sees the writing on the wall with Showtime, so now he's looking out for his fighters more than he's looking out for the network. And then on top of that, the reason why it was like the Fulton and
shit, I got him.
Al Haymon got him.
Damn.
God damn it, Al. Fuck. Struck again.
He said too much. He gave away the plan.
I believe what Unbiased is saying, but I also say this: it had to be Adrien Broner to kick this shit off. Like it had to be the one that nobody would have thought he would have been talking that shit. He was the one that was talking that shit, and he was the one that got the most concessions and everything. To be the one to tell you no, Al's on some fuck shit. He had to be that guy to tell people, nah, Al is not what I think he is.
You don't want to know something crazy?
And I think I was going to let me say this too. Let me say this to Chris's point. There's a theory. I've heard it, and it's compelling. It is compelling. Adrien Broner had to go through 3 separate opponents that all fell through. It's a compelling theory that, you know what? They might be trying to spite him for the things they do.
I can't believe you bringing this on your show. No, dude,
Let me say this. This is the thing. The other, Red Catch pulling out, I'm like, oh, well, that's nothing. That's just Joe DeGuardia being a prick. That even though it is weird that you came into a deal that was already done, because the deal for Ivan and Broner, it was done. Joe DeGuardia comes in, messes everything up every way you can mess everything up. He wants to change the splits, what you're going to get to where it's not even worth you doing it. And it's like, all right. Then Hank Lundy. Bro, Hank Lundy is always ready to fight, bro. If you guys know Hammer and Hank Lundy.
Yeah.
Always ready to fight, bro. At any given moment, this man is literally having a fight. The only guy I know more prolific than Hank Lundy is Chop Chop Corley. He another one that, whenever they ask him to fight, he lose, but he'll go. All of a sudden, you can't secure Hank Lundy.
What was the reason for that? That
because
not
he
going
had
through?
a fight
What?
already. He already had a fight before, and they did not release him from that fight.
All right, and what about the other kid? Is
Thomas Williams Jr. Thomas Williams Jr.
broken?
Michael Williams.
Michael Williams. What if his jaw got really, bro? 3 guys, bro.
Bro, I'm sorry, but I think that could be just karma in life itself. I'm not gonna put that on PBC, man. And Al Haymon, I think that's a serious Dalcine reach, man.
Why not? Why
I told
not?
my buddy
Why
earlier,
not?
I said, "Come on, man."
Why not?
I'm gonna tell you why not. Broner is not what he used to be. There's no point for you to invest that type of time and effort into sabotaging somebody who doesn't have the value and doesn't generate anything at the point that
All the more
he
reason
used
for
to
those
be.
guys to fight him.
But the thing is, though, but there was situation, circumstance that have nothing to do with PBC.
I also wanted to impart this. I've been noticing something, and I don't see anybody else talking about it. There's been, I noticed that Boxing Insider, which used to be a boxing periodical, all of a sudden they're putting on their own shows. And I noticed, Black Prime, and I'm like, okay, well, apparently you guys have enough money that you're willing to risk putting Broner on pay-per-view with an absolute nobody. And I'm like, where are these guys getting all this money from?
Money laundering.
No, Silicon Valley guys. They're rich Silicon Valley guys.
Okay, but I smelled Daniel.
No, not another one. Jules, you're 2 for 2 right now. Stop.
It's so weird.
You Dow Simon right now. Shake my hand because your arms are long right now. Shake my hand.
I'm just saying that it's so weird that where do all these smaller outfits, like, look, remember, Marv Nation won the purse bid for Prograis versus Zepeda, right? And I'm like, Marv Nation is a small outfit on the West Coast. Like, they're very small. They do shows regularly. They do, but they don't do $2 million shows.
That's a lot of money they put up.
It's a lot of money they put up. And I'm like, bro, why would they stake that much of their own money on that show? If you know anything about the industry, you know that you can't risk that, bro. Maybe Top Rank could risk it. Maybe Matchroom. But y'all can't. Y'all a small local outfit.
They wouldn't risk that on Broner, number one. But number two, somebody might be laundering money.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Ain't no way.
No, but to be fair though, Roy Jones did came out and said that he pulled his guy out of that fight because he was getting his ass whooped in sparring. So,
but his father said no. His father said this guy is actually he was actually doing good in sparring. They said Roy would come in periodically throughout the weeks, train, then go on vacation, then go fishing. They say he was doing some funny business. But let me go to the Adrien Broner point. Here's why I think. Here's why I'll put my tinfoil hat on. Here's why I think.
That's what you're doing.
It's a tinfoil Yankees hat.
Hey, I'm biased. We are allowed to have a tinfoil moment.
Of course.
Y'all definitely having it too. Shake my hand. Y'all, your arms are real long, so y'all should be able to reach my hand from wherever you at.
I'm shaking your hand. I got the right hand out too. Here's why I think Al Haymon would do that to Adrien Broner. You of all people should be the last motherfucker talking. I dealt with your fuck up ass for years. You fucked up every time I got you a big ass shot. You fucked up against Maidana when you could have won that fight. You fucked up against Pacquiao. You didn't even show up for that fight. You fucked up and fucked up and fucked up and fucked up. And now you're mad because people are you're not getting the money that you once thought you deserved. Knowing that you keep fucking up and keep fucking up and keep fucking up. Hey, Giovanni Santiago, you didn't win that fight. All the concessions I made for you when I could have made for other fighters, I made specifically for you. There was a lot of people that had promise on my stable, but I didn't give them the shots because I thought you would find a way to overcome your consistent fuck-ups. For you to talk that shit about me, hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black. And especially knowing what I know about you, yeah, I'll fuck with your career. I know you shaking your hand and everything.
But let me say this. See, this is the thing. Like, you got to remember that. You got to remember that in 2016, circa 2015, 2016, Arum did make Broner an offer. That's confirmed on both sides, that Arum made the offer and that Broner received it, but it wasn't enough for him at that time. And it was a decent offer, standard kind of offer for a guy, about $3 million in an upside of the pay-per-view. Who do you think told Broner to turn that down? so that you could exactly. So
But who
that,
was paying him as he weighed at the time,
so
though?
that you could end up fighting him a couple of losses later. You're a little bit older later, so it's not like, oh yeah, Al, you know, he been looking out for him all this time. You have to start.
No, gave him the Pacquiao fight, man, and trust me, Errol Spence gonna get the Pacquiao fight. Who outside of Adrien Broner at PBC got the Pacquiao fight?
No, wait a minute. This is the thing. We cannot. No, wait a minute. This is the thing. We can't pretend, and that's another narrative that I see, that like Al Haymon didn't get him the Pacquiao fight. Pacquiao wanted that fight. You don't control Manny Pacquiao any more than you controlled Canelo Alvarez for that one fight that he was over there. You didn't control him. What people don't realize is when Manny had that lawsuit with Audi Attar and those Conor McGregor people, right? It came out in the lawsuit that after the Thurman fight, he was going to DAZN. He was going to fight Mikey Garcia.
Yep.
Al, like this idea that Al got you the fight, that's not true. That's not true. Manny do what he want. That's what that was. So was it Al getting you to fight, or was it just that Manny thought he could whoop your ass? I tend to lean towards not. Manny just thought he could whoop your ass, because when push came to shove, Manny was going to dip without fighting Spence. He was going to dip. The only reason he circled back was because he said, well, they kept changing the percentages and the money for the Mikey Garcia fight, the Audi Attar people. They kept changing the percentages, so he decided not to go through with that, and he spun the block, went back to the PBC. But if not for that, that dude was going to dip, and it wasn't shit Al could do about it.
I feel you on that. But ultimately, let's look at it from this perspective. Al could have definitely got around that time when Al had still a little bit of juice left. Al could scrunched up the money to pay Manny Pacquiao and get him that Spence fight and pay him as he weighs, because again, Manny Pacquiao's a cash cow and Manny Pacquiao commands that type of marquee. Why was Adrien Broner there? I understand, Manny thought he could fuck Adrien Broner.
What about the Rock Nation deal that Adrien Broner turned down for Al Haymon? So, like, you're saying, like, Al Haymon's this charitable guy that was giving Broner all these amazing opportunities. I'm not saying he's
charitable. No. I don't put words in my mouth, man. Don't do that.
Jimmy raises a valid point. I'm gonna pass it to Jimmy. He hasn't had a chance to talk yet. It is true that there were other opportunities. For example, along with the Rock Nation and that $40 million, right? Let's fast forward a little bit. Eddie Hearn offered Adrien Broner 2 separate deals, multi-million-dollar deals. The box kind of been. Who do you think advised him to turn those deals down and to do what? To fight Omar Figueroa? Bro, fighting Ben in the UK would have been way bigger than fight. Nobody gives, unless it's Omar's sister. That's the only Figueroa anybody cares about, bro.
That's
and
the only fighter.
Thing, guys.
Figueroa's the only drunkard bigger than Broner that they could.
Wasn't there also an HBO deal though? Do you remember when Al Haymon took his entire stable over to Showtime? Apparently back then HBO wanted to sign Adrien Broner to an exclusive multi-fight deal, but he walked away from that to stay with Al Haymon to go to Showtime and do his thing, just like he did with Rock Nation, just like he did with Eddie Hearn. So I actually think Al Haymon
turned down that Rock Nation deal too, didn't he?
From the overall relationship with Broner.
That's his misplaced loyalty, though.
Special.
No, but hold up.
Okay, let Jimmy finish. Go ahead, Jimmy.
And in fact, if Al Haymon was so loyal and cared about Adrien Broner so much, he would have let Adrien Broner have the rematch clause with Marcus Maidana, the way Adrien Broner wanted. Instead, Al Haymon, buddied up with Floyd Mayweather and let them do that massive fight, because Adrien Broner was very clear saying, I want the Maidana rematch, I want it. But it just didn't happen. So I don't think he's been that kind to Adrien Broner.
Before I pass it to Unbiased, I want to say this to Chris. I believe that Al Haymon took advantage of Broner because you can just see the framework of it all. That, well, of course you can get these guys to fall in line and listen to you because of the sales pitch. You see what I did for Floyd, right? I know that's the sales pitch, the generational wealth pitch. Why do you think that several PBC fighters use that buzzword? Generational wealth.
Who the fuck's fault is that? Is it Al Haymon's fault for for conning you,
I'm
or is
just
it their
I'm-
fault for being fucking stupid?
Both.
I'm
It's
just saying
actually
the idea, in other words, the idea that, Broner is out of pocket or some kind of way, because it kind of sounded that way, like, Al looked out for you. No, Al looked out for himself.
I don't think Al looked out. Let me phrase it a little better. Al really allowed Adrien Broner to get away with more shit than other fighters.
Come on.
Like he did.
That's bullshit. I think he fucked him, and I'm going to say that. I think he fucked him. You would have been better off staying on HBO. That's what I'm going to say. You would have been better off go to Rock Nation, go with them, get that 40 M's because wait a minute. Because the decision that you made, the one you ended up making, did that get you 40 M's? No, it didn't. It didn't. Staying true to Al did not get you that kind of bag. It didn't. So all I see is that he costed you money.
Hold up. Wait a minute. The old thing about the Rock Nation deal, though, it was tons of stipulations and tons of barometers, and Broner specifically spoke on that and why he didn't take the Rock Nation deal.
Still $40 million.
No, it was not. 40 million is okay. Think of NFL contracts, bro.
Yeah, I know it's 40 million through the life of the deal. It ain't like they was just gonna give him 40.
Yeah.
No. It was not even. It was not even that. It was a lot of incentive based. A lot. It was like an NFL contract if you want to look at it, where you might get a 4-year, $40 million deal, right? But you get your signing bonus of $7 million, and then after the first year you can get cut. So you don't really get 40 million. You only get 7 million, and then your second year salary.
I'm biased. Let me ask you a question though. Push come to shove, do you think that going with Al was the better deal?
Well, in hindsight, 2020, I don't think so. I think maybe, but I don't know if Rock Nation probably would have been worse because Rock Nation folded up like a tent.
That is true. That they imploded. Well, not imploded. They just shrank.
They just folded up like a tent. It was just like, okay, camp's over. Fold up your tent. Let's go.
That is true because they look at where are they now? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, guys? Because I'm a little bit
Nation.
confused about this. You guys are talking about Adrien Broner and Al Haymon, like the deals he made, what he did for Adrien Broner. Like, you're talking about like he did got paid. From my knowledge, he didn't get paid.
Exactly.
Adrien Broner is saying that he didn't get his money from 6 fights. It's 6 last fights.
Floyd Mayweather even said some shit like that too.
Yeah, but you know what
That's
though about
crazy.
Broner though? Broner's not having a business sense, and that's partly his fault. Because first of all, he was getting some of his money, but he was getting it in increments. He wasn't getting it in one lump
that's
sum.
what I'm
So
saying.
you're supposed to be taking accountability for what your money, what you get.
Let me say this. I really believe the way I look at it, right? The way that I see it, you con that dude. You did con that dude. And yeah, we can make the argument that a sucker's born every day. And if you a sucker, that's your fault. We could do that. But at the end of the day, that don't change that. You know what? If he would have went to HBO, he might have been better off. And you never know. Rock Nation might have been better off for having a fighter like an Adrien Broner under contract. Ultimately, that's not what happened. They just didn't have the names.
And HBO folded up too.
If Al owes him that much money, though, why does he can't take him to court, huh?
Because he don't owe him as much as he think he owe him. He owe him money, but not that much.
We don't know that. We don't.
No, but Rock Nation did pay Andrew Wood about part of the full deals.
Let's say this, guys. What kind of situation is it where the dude tell you he not gonna give you or your bread up front? What you think that man doing with that bread?
He playing with it just like banks play with our money.
Yep.
They do, but if I go to the ATM, I could get my money, bro.
True. But I mean, he did get a Pacquiao fight that he didn't deserve.
Yeah, but he didn't even get the money for that fight. When Broner said in the last shit that I seen him in, he said he didn't get paid for his last 6 fights. He did not get a check from Al Haymon. He was getting stipends and increments and all that. He didn't get his purse for the fight. What's the point then? Yeah, you
think about it like this. You have Floyd Mayweather Jr., the highest grossing boxer of all time in a heavyweight champion on your stable saying, "Yo, pay me my full fucking bread." This nigga here is a fucking he's a thief. He's a
thief,
low down,
bro.
dirty.
Why would that be why would that? In other words, unbiased. What I'm saying is, why would that be the structure of how guys get paid over there unless you doing some shiesty shit? Why would that?
I can't disagree with that. I can't. See, that's the thing. I can't. I'm not. It's like each things are equally true. Him going to Rock Nation might not have been beneficial. HBO folded up. I don't know about the details of the Top Rank deal, and I do know the Zone offered them. So that's where my issues with playing both sides of the fence when it comes to Al, because I don't think he always was looking out for his fighter's best interest. He was trying to balance doing it to some degree, but then looking out for the networks instead of doing what he was actually supposed to be doing as an advisor.
Bro,
and that's why
you giving him a little bit too much credit, because this is what I'm gonna say. I correlated to cheating in a relationship, right? You know that Al Haymon basically swindled Oscar out of all them fighters, right? That he did some shiesty shit. If he did some shiesty shit to Oscar, why would he not do some shiesty shit to you? You see what I mean? That if you pull a bitch that she was in some shit, she in a relationship, and she cheating on her man with you, and then she get with you, what the fuck make you think that she not gonna cheat on you?
Hey, Jules, Warp Speed says in 35 minutes there's gonna be fights on DAZN.
Yeah, I seen that. Let me read the super chat. Jack said the problem is Spence will be out for 1 year. Yeah, I agree with that. Luis Puente says Al is the definition of a controlling wife. Bro, he's like a controlling mother. Drew said what I missed besides Twitter guys saying Jules has a big ego. The Paramount financial documents clearly state all underperforming content is finished. I did a video on that. The last video I did was about that.
Hold the fuck up, Jules. Hold the entire fuck up.
Hold the bus.
Who talking about your junk?
Oh no, it's one of them. It's one of them like
nah, bro. What type of shit is this?
Nah. It ain't even no shit like shit. Like you could go look at it. It ain't no shit. I just said like, bro, unless they gonna fight, we ain't got nothing to talk about. That's all I said. I'm not gonna sit here. All that shit about sitting around arguing with these self-conscious motherfuckers. Nah, son, I'm fucking 40, bro. I don't have time for that shit.
Oh, you take your age away.
Yeah, like that shit, chat. Like, if you gotta jump on an alt account to be able to use social media to feel comfortable enough to use, so get out of my face, bro. Don't talk to me, bro. I don't care who you think wins. I don't care what you think about nothing. Act like a fucking adult. All right, I got one account, one Twitter account. No burners. I don't be hiding. I don't gotta use pictures of other shit. It's me. All right. If you can't talk to me on that level, don't talk to me. I don't care what you think about nothing. Aliens could come. I wouldn't even ask you about it.
You not gonna ask Chris. You not gonna
get aliens. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna talk to everybody but you.
What's you
doing that weird shit?
About that hypothetical question, if I saw some aliens, my nigga, I was like, oh shit,
man, it's going down, my God. This is the year, bro. It's gonna be joints out here. It's gonna be joints out here with 3 titties, bro, but only 2 going to nipple.
I'm down. I'm down.
And Jules is gonna be sitting there going, "Look at the titties."
Remember Total Recall?
I remember
the time.
Oh, that's crazy. Total Recall.
Remember Total Recall when he went to Mars?
Fellas, if a woman walked up to me, with 3 titties, bro, fellas, I'd have smashed. I don't care what
bro, that's scary to think about. Like, there's some CIA agent right now in Area 51 just dicking down the alien they have locked up there.
You know why she had 3 titties, man? Because she went to Dubai, baby.
Listen, bro. I'm just going. Wait. Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. Just be Nobody say nothing. Just be honest. Y'all wouldn't take down one of them avatars?
I would.
I just thought about it too. She was creepy.
Fuck, B. It's you see. I just think it's a tongue in there or some shit. Like, now we gotta find out.
Drop the link for Drew.
We gotta find out, bro.
Drop the link for Drew.
One small step for mankind, bro. Like, you gotta get in that joint. That cerulean sauerkraut. Like, nah.
But them Avatar chicks, y'all. I'm not a tall guy. So do you know how much piggyback rides I can get?
Bro, it don't matter, bro. You don't matter, bro. Get in there and find out what it is. So look, aliens aside, though, the way I look at it is honestly, maybe people had a perception in the beginning that Al Haymon was different from other promoters or different from other boxing guys because it seemed like he was looking out for the fighters. But all I'm telling you is there's no way that you hanging on to fighters' entire purses and it's for noble causes. No, it ain't. Pay them guys their money. The reason you not giving them their money is because you be doing something with it. What it is, I don't know. Maybe it goes into bad investments. But why are you holding on to their money? For what? Why you giving them their allowance? It's out of Broner's own mouth. I don't know more about his finances than he do. And he said it. I ain't get a check from Al in 6 fights, bro. 6 fights. That's like, I think that's like, what, 5 years or some shit like that? It go way back. I'm like, bro.
Yo, Jamal Charlo can't pay for a fucking sandwich, man.
That means he was probably sending them cash apps.
That's what I'm saying. What kind of situation is it where, yo, look, for example, you do a job, Chris. You supposed to get, I don't know, 100,000. But instead of getting 100,000 after you do the job, you getting 10,000, 5,000. What's going on here? Where's my 100,000, fam? I did.
So I'm losing out on $90,000 to $95,000 for a job that I was supposed to get 100,000.
No, but a job but the thing is, in essence, a job that you already did. That if you had the fight already,
that I'm contractually obligated to get this fucking money. That motherfucker, you see, that class action lawsuit ain't gonna do nothing because at the end of the day, it's something called secured creditors and unsecured creditors. Are you a secured creditor? No, because you probably haven't bought into the fucking company at that level.
Imagine getting up at like 6 a.m. only to not get paid for it. Getting up and running and all that shit. Working out like that. That's the hard part about being a boxer is all the training.
All the stuff that these fighters do, get up, do their road work, they stay in the gym, they stay training, waiting for a fight date, then they got to wait for an opponent, all the stuff, right? Imagine you doing all that. You have the fight, you win the fight, you lose the fight, whatever. But you don't get paid. You don't get the purse. You getting... Bro, what kind of shit is that?
That's fucked up.
Matter of fact, let me ask y'all something. Does anybody know if Dimitri Bivol was ever paid for the Canelo fight?
Yeah, he was paid, bro. He was
paid.
paid.
Was he paid in full or in payments?
No, he was in full, bro. It's not dissimilar from the Regis shit, bro. That was some bank shit. That wasn't that Marv Nation stiffed him, even though that's what we all assume. But it wasn't that. It was that Marv Nation. It was that the bank, they held the bread because of the amount of bread, so they had to check all that because it was over $1 million. But whatever's whatever, they got their money. What kind of situation is it where you do a job, but you don't get your full purse?
And what you were saying about Regis, I work at a bank, so everything you said was true. Like if you are past a certain monetary threshold, there's certain markets you have to,
especially if you don't conduct them type of transactions frequently.
Al Haymon got you, Drew. Al Haymon got you, Drew.
No, what I was going to say, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Much better now.
Yeah, they check if you don't do those type of transactions frequently. I just find it funny though. The people that don't complain about Al Haymon that are over there, they have good management. Danny Jacobs got paid in full. Amir Khan, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
But wait a minute, Drew. Danny got the bag, and we always bring this up that Danny got the bags that Broner was looking for.
Yeah, Danny got what I'm saying when they were over there, Drew.
The Golovkin fight, the Canelo fight, the Chavez fight, and you don't see him complaining about, I was getting paid in increments. No, because that's not how that's supposed to be.
And also, I think part of that was to prevent Danny from going to
Keith Conley, right?
Say, there's two of y'all talking at the same time. Go ahead, Julio.
Nah, go ahead.
Okay, Danny was with Conley, right?
Yeah, he's with Keith Connolly.
Yeah, so like those guys that had outside management that just used Al as an advisor, they were free to do what they wanted to do. And I guess the language in their deal was like, we payments. But everybody that uses Al as the manager, they're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Like, in other words, those situations are self-explanatory. That if the PBC was the land of milk and honey, then Danny would have stayed there, but he didn't. Artur would have stayed there, but he didn't. F.A. Ajagba would have stayed there, but he didn't. Hugo Centeno would have stayed there, but he didn't. It's more than one fighter that decided to cross over. If the PBC were the land of milk and honey, right? Why did Mikey immediately after the Spence fight? Where did he go? The zone.
The zone. Did he?
Now, Manny Pacquiao, it came out in the lawsuit without Iatar. After the Thurman fight, where was he going to go? The zone. So if this place is the land of milk and honey, why is these guys leaving? And these guys do command bigger purses than your Spence, than your Wilder. Yeah, it's fucking Manny Pacquiao, bro. Right? Like, let's cut the crap. What I see is this dude is living out a pimp fantasy with these fighters because what I see is hoes on the track. That's what I see.
I don't know. Even prostitutes get paid. I don't know.
Bro, that's a pimp setup, bro. That you don't give the girl all the cash. You pay her rent. You pay her bills. But you don't give her all the cash. You don't give her everything she earned. Bro, that's what he's doing with y'all.
There's a line in the movie.
Listen to Jules.
I'm gonna date myself. You ever seen the movie The Mac?
Teaching you how to pimp these hoes.
Yo,
there's a movie called The Mac. There's a movie called The Mac, and the pimp's name's Pretty Tony, and he's like, a hoe wake up with some money, she liable to go crazy.
No, but I keep the Prince.
But tell me that's not the tell me that's not the dichotomy. You got these guys, they go out there, and I also think it's what Drew said. Drew said this a long time ago, and it makes perfect sense. They're probably minority shareholders in this PBC company that ain't even worth shit. You know, he takes their money, reinvests. He takes a portion of the purse or a portion of the money, reinvests it in the company. But the whole time the company's losing money and you're losing money. But you don't fucking know that because you trust him. And you trust him because of the almighty Floyd, as if he made Floyd.
He didn't.
He literally came at Floyd's end of his career.
Floyd made himself. Floyd banked on himself by paying.
Top rank made Floyd. Top rank made Floyd. That's right.
Don't say that.
No. I'm going to say Floyd the fighter. Everybody hate. Well, not everybody. It's just a fact. Floyd the fighter. That he's a great fighter. That's Top Rank. They did that. That's their grooming process.
Pretty Boy Floyd.
That's their grooming process. That's their grooming process. Then he went to Golden Boy for a little while. For those that don't know, he did go to Golden Boy for a little while. He was working with them, but the Floyd that we know, the Floyd that became the pound for pound and all this different shit, that's Top Rank's grooming process. That's what that was.
Pimping ain't easy.
That's for all of them, though. Like, people don't realize how many Hall of Famers came through Top Rank.
Yo, he said Al Haymon is a Capricorn. I hope that's not true.
Is he really?
I hope not.
Oh, shit. Really?
I hope not.
You, bro, all Capricorns are pieces of shit, man. Aries Nation.
My God, I hope not, bro. You know Mauricio Suleiman is a Capricorn, right?
Aries in the chat. Shout out to you.
Capricorns, I'll be honest.
But I like Aries though. Aries is good money. Like Aries is good. Like Aries
was born April 21st, bro. So whatever that is.
What's April? I know the beginning of April.
That's a Taurus.
That's Taurus.
Well, Tauruses ain't bad.
Nah, Taurus is a piece of shit.
I don't. In my experience,
my little sister. I feel.
Hey man, Scorpios representing homeboy Scorpios, baby.
Scorpios. Look. These is the signs that I know is good money: Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, Virgo, other Capricorns. The other signs, I don't know, B. I'm not saying nothing. I don't know.
Scorpios are Leo's in the building.
Hey, man.
Hey, Jude, hold on, man. Hey, my wife a Libra, dog. Am I fucking up?
I didn't say nothing. I just said I don't know. Plausible deniability. I didn't say nothing good or bad.
Now you want to be smart, you fucking bastard.
I've been smart.
Hey, man.
Hey, Jules. Hey, fam. Jules, fam. I got a question for you, fam. What's my question? Oh yeah, right. Could you look into your Capricorn crystal ball? The Spence Crawford happened in June.
Possibly.
Oh man, are we doing this, bro?
Have you heard
anything?
I'm asking.
Wait. Listen to me. I say possibly because of something Rick Glacier said. Given and me and Drew have talked about this to no end. given what's going on at Showtime, very soon you may, I don't know, you may end up having to shop your brand around. You need something to show them, some numbers, or so. You need something to show them. You don't have nothing to show them right now. So you got Benavidez Plant, you got Garcia Davis, you got potentially Spence Crawford. You do need to show these people something more than a little over 200,000 buys or less, or just under 200,000 buys. You know that Thurman fight isn't going to sell. That shit is not going to sell.
Case in point, Power Slap Slap's doing 2.5 times the ratings of the last Showtime card. Power Slap.
Hey,
Listen. Oshaki Foss, and it was a great fight, so I don't want it to seem like I'm attacking Oshaki. I picked him to win. He won the fight. But what I'm saying is you got to think about it. That same night, the UFC had a card on ESPN, right? Saturday night slot, and it was number one at 1.1 million, right? Motherfucking the PBC show, it wasn't second, it wasn't third, it wasn't fourth, fifth, sixth. So, you know, it was 127.
Wow,
That's what I'm saying. Oshaki did a good job, but who saw him?
And the point that I'm making is, if this is what you're trying to compete with these other guys that's out, bro, there ain't no competition. You dead in the water. So if you might have to shop yourself around to a new network for a new deal, you're gonna need to show them something, bro. Don't show them the Oshaki Foster numbers. You're gonna need to show them something. And Thurman versus Spence, it don't sell. You could sell tickets. Yeah, you could probably sell some tickets. But pay-per-views?
Yeah,
I know it's bad.
Selling tickets is not a foregone conclusion. Unless Errol fights in Dallas, he's not selling shit.
You could actually give away some tickets and make the stadium look like it.
But this is how you know it's bad. We're basically in March. We got 30 days, another month of the quarter left. There's no scheduled fight for Wilder. There's no scheduled fight for Thurman, Spence, the Charlo brothers, Leo Santa Cruz, Danny Garcia, Arislandi. There's no fights for their $1 million fighters.
Charlo, no, the older Charlo got a fight. He's fighting Susiki. He's fighting who he pulled out before. He's probably
wait a minute. No, wait. No, I'm
That's
telling
not
you,
confirmed, bro.
I'm just saying this. Who says that Charlo, based on what we know about the pay structure and everything that's coming out, who says Charlo's getting $1 million?
I don't.
That he's $1 million fighter first and foremost. These guys don't get their money up front. So is he going to get $1 million, or is he going to get $10,000 or $1,000 every day for like 365 days?
Yeah, all their 7-figure fighters don't have fight dates, with the exception of Caleb Plant and David Benavidez.
They have fight dates, but they're all pay-per-views. Is what it is.
I mean, that's right, but I'm saying like they're not scheduled.
And that's the other thing that is the other thing that's
how you know it's bad.
The only fight that's done that right now, maybe it'll change in an hour. I don't know, but the only official shit right now is Benavidez Plant. They have not announced Garcia Davis yet. They have not announced Thurman Spence yet. They have not announced Wilder Ruiz. They haven't.
That third. Look at the date. How many days till April 15th? That shit ain't happening.
I don't even know, because I've been like, I don't want it to sound like, I don't want it to happen. I'm just telling you, yo, it's only 7 weeks, bro. Ideally, you need 8 to promote the show and train for all that shit. You need 8. We on 7. Y'all ain't even announced this shit yet. What's going on?
Looking like Spence and Crawford again.
But it's not a super
Vail
fight.
was saying that somebody listed those guys in June.
Hey, you make a good point, Jules, because to top that off, bro, if you think about it, how the fuck you gonna make the max amount, the optimal amount of money, if you ain't promoting it way ahead of time?
That's what I'm saying.
Making it worse.
It's like, I'm not trying to be pessimistic for the sake of pessimism. I'm just saying that, like, look, this is supposed to be a big fight, and you only have 7 weeks to promote it. What, 7 weeks to promote? Are they even in training for each other? Like, are they in camp for each other right now? And if they are, then what are you waiting for? Why haven't you announced it yet? When are you going to ramp up promotion? Because April is right around the corner, bro. Like, March is going to come in and go real fast. And I'm not going to say it won't happen. I'm just saying that, look, ideally, you do need a given number of weeks to promote a show, at minimum 8, and we on 7.
Hey,
And
Jules,
I'm gonna tell you this: like,
says
I'm
that
at the point
Spectrum
even
has,
with that fight and those two fighters. If it happens, cool. I'll watch. I'll buy it. I don't give a fuck though.
No, I don't either. I said it
It's
yesterday.
not this
bro.
super fight like you've been saying, Jules. It's not this motherfucking super fight. If it was the super fight,
it's not a super fight, bro.
Listen, if it was the super fight, the metrics would show, and it'd already be fucking made.
It ain't even. But you know what? Let me not resort to other shit. I'm just gonna look inward in my soul, in my inner child, in my inner peace. Right? I like Haney versus Loma better. It's a better fight. Yes, it is a better fight.
Yeah,
and Devin didn't lie to me. He said he wanted Loma, and I believed him, and I defended him for 3 years. That I don't think he's scared of Loma. Whatever's whatever. He want that fight, and I believed him. And here he is, 2023. What he doing? He getting me to fight. I don't feel betrayed. I don't feel betrayed. Because I said, like, when all that shit about, the franchise and I'm like, yo, look, that shit is the promoters beefing with each other. That's not the fighters. Loma ain't scared of Devin, and Devin ain't scared of Loma. I believe Devin when he said he wanted that fight. I think he would have lost. I'm going to say that. If you would have had it 3 years ago, I think you would have lost. So it's a little better for you now that it's happening now. But look, at least he ain't play with me. He is literally doing the work that Davis was supposed to do. Davis supposed to been fight this dude, bro. Been. And Lopez done fought him. And now Haney done fought. And what are you doing, Ryan? Get out of here, B. Get out of here. I'm going to buy the fight, though. But get out of here.
I think the only thing missing on the Loma and Haney fight is the location. Everything else is done except for location.
That's what Devin said. That's what Devin. Yo, look.
It's either going to be Vegas or Saudi.
That's it. But other than that, yo, it's cool. Like, and it ain't no friction. It ain't no bitch shit. It ain't no chatterboxing. It's just, man, I'm a champion. You the challenger. Let's get it on. And that's it. And it ain't no bitch shit. No whole shit, no spooky, scary shit. No, you better use butter. He never looked at me.
Hey, but I'll tell you this, though, Jules. Devin must have enjoyed that meeting in Saudi with Eddie and them boys.
I don't knock that. But the thing is, if you're Devin, right, look, you could go to Matchroom because Matchroom does have ponies in the 140-pound show, but they don't have titles, Drew. They have no champions at 140. They don't, which is why I said, y'all motherfuckers need to scoop up Regis and give him a deal.
Now my
y'all got fighters at 40, but you ain't got no belt for them. You got Richardson Hitchison. You got Liam Bottle. You got Stevie Sparks. You got guys you got Montana, Colorado Love. You got like 4 guys at 40, but it ain't no belt.
But my retort to that, Jules, is if you're Devin and you do decide, fuck, I'm going back to Matchroom, and you invoke your super status, what belt are you going to do it with? What org?
If it's me, I do it with the WBO.
Why the WBO? The WBO is
look in the camera, Chris. Look in the camera. Look. Wait. Let me put the camera back on. Wait. Fuck, man, this fucking picture. Look, man. You looking?
I'm looking.
Yep.
Look, Devin to take T.O. to school. 7 days.
I agree.
I know, but
7 days. 7 days out of 7.
If he were to go back to Matchroom and he going up to 140, right? Say he beats Lomachenko and goes back to Matchroom, which you wanted to go, which you wanted to stay, right? Do you think Bob Arum is going to make it easy for him to fight Teofimo when he could have fought him on that side of the street? Because
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not disagreeing with you, Chris, but I'm saying that in a situation where, let's just say he really wanted to go back to Matchroom, right? For whatever reason, because he really liked it over there. With the WBO super status, it ain't even about what you want, Bob. He has to fight me.
You don't think Bob Arum won't be on some whole ass shit?
Yeah, I think he'll try, but I'm saying if you could get, look, you play it cool, right? You act cool, you shake everybody's hand, right? Dap everybody up.
You talking about Eddie Hearn?
Wait.
Shut up, New Yorker.
you petition for that WBO status. You don't let them know you leaving. Like, yo, I'm trying to get that WBO status so we can do this fight with Lopez, Bob. I want to do that. All the while, Bob don't know. Man, I'm going back to Matchroom.
And let's keep it a buck, Jules. How long have Eddie and Devin been trying to shove a purse bit up Bob's ass?
Ages, bro. Ages. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
Fucking franchise.
Look. I'm just telling you. He ain't got a okie doke, Bob. I'm not saying that he has to. I'm saying that even if he did, there's a way he could work it out to where Lopez. The other thing is Lopez got to win though.
That's what I was gonna say.
He got to win. That's the other shit.
I don't think he's gonna win that fight, yo.
I don't know, bro.
I don't think
it's in New York, bro. It's in New York, bro.
And
it ain't in New York for no reason, bro.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. He's not gonna win many rounds against Josh.
I gotta go to my psychic Chilean brother, Leo. Who's winning that fight?
What fight?
Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez.
Josh.
You think he's gonna win that fight?
Yeah,
I got Josh winning too.
That's an easy. That's a tune-up. That's a tune-up, Jules.
I got a 50-50 fight on that one.
That's a tune-up for
no.
Josh. I'm sorry.
For me, it's not a 50-50 fight. Jack Catterall might have the answer to beat Josh Taylor. Not in the cards, but not with the home field advantage. But I don't think Teo has the style to, because let's say Josh Taylor goes blow for blow with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo is not gonna withstand that kind of pressure. I don't think so. Josh Taylor is too big, and if he tries to box, Josh Taylor is gonna try to bait him into a counter, like he did with Jose Ramirez, and he's gonna be out. Teofimo Lopez doesn't take the first punch. I don't think he's gonna. This is a legit test. This is it was before. And
what about the weight? What about the weight, Leo? That Josh hasn't had to make this weight in a while, bro. Will he be depleted?
Of course he will. Of course, that guy.
Yeah, but
you see how big he is, dog. Yo, let's keep
the motherfucker is huge. No,
I'm gonna ask.
Let Leo finish.
No, the guy is fucking huge, but for the problem he had with Jack Catterall, for me, because Jack Catterall's style.
I agree with that. Leo? Can I say this? What I think Teofimo doesn't jab enough. And that's in a general sense. He doesn't jab enough. Like I say it all the time that his style is a cheaper version of Regis' style without the bells and whistles. Regis rolls punches off the shoulder, fights out of a shell guard. He waits for the counter, but he also creates countering opportunities with the jab. Teo doesn't do that. It's just 1 and 2 shots at a time. 1 and 2 shots at a time, and he waits. Whereas Regis keeps the jab working. Even if it's not about the counter, he still keep the jab working. And because Lopez don't jab that much, well, all right, then you're not going to be able to do to Josh what Jack Catterall did to Josh, because what Jack did was he kept the jab in his face. He couldn't miss him with the jab. You don't jab that much.
No, and the other thing about Jack Catterall, that motherfucker has no shame. If he has to clinch 4 times in a row to beat the clock, he's gonna do it. Teofimo is not that kind of fighter.
That's true.
He's gonna clinch. He's gonna clinch if he feels like he doesn't have the upper hand, but he doesn't. He's not cerebral enough to realize I cannot bang with this guy. I cannot be.
Yeah, he's gonna do stupid. Like if he gets his ass kicked, that'd be really amazing because of a particular content creator. I'm not gonna say nothing.
But this is why this is our retort to Leo, right?
I'll say it. It rhymes with lunch truck.
I didn't say shit, Drew, so don't start no shit.
This is my retort to Leo. I've seen Josh Taylor get shut down by a guy just dipping his jab. I think Teo has enough defensive wherewithal to see that, like, hey, I know if I take away Josh Taylor's jab by just dipping to one side or another and countering, I can win this fight. But he does some tweak shit, so I can see what y'all guys saying too, because he does some real silly shit in the ring.
Oh yeah, I thought Josh Taylor was banned from the U.S.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Bro,
I'm
listen. I did a video on that last week that I was like, I don't know why they want to bring it to New York, but I can only guess that one thing that looked like an issue to me is that Teofimo Lopez Sr. has priors. Can he go to the UK? I don't know if he can. And with Josh,
he's got priors.
He can inform on
bro.
someone.
That dude is a snitch, bro. That dude,
I'm saying maybe he has dirt on Kinahan. To work something out.
Oh yeah.
Bob
maybe. In other words, the question that I asked last week when I first heard the story that they might try to bring the fight to America, the question I asked: what's easier, getting Lopez into the UK or getting Josh into the US? And getting Josh into the US might be easier because he has no priors. Maybe Bob can pull some strings, get him some kind of working visa. But Lopez has priors, bro. So I don't know that you're going to be able to get him.
That would be to Teofimo's advantage, though, if he doesn't have him.
If Teofimo were to go to the UK, he'd probably drop in his pops, which would never happen. But if he requests to go to the UK and he drops his pops, that would show me that he's really serious about this fight and he's serious about his career.
No, but it's done, bro. They're talking about doing it in New York. So we know that Josh is. We know that all right. They must go and bring Josh to America. Then it's settled. Then because I asked that last week. Like I don't know that Lopez could go to the UK. So maybe that's why they want to bring it to America because he can't go. And ain't he Lopez's head trainer? Ain't he?
Yeah.
So imagine you going over there without your head trainer, as messed up as he already is, bro.
Yeah.
So how do you got that fight, Jules?
The problem is that I try to look at fighters at their best. At his very best, Teofimo Lopez is a counterpuncher, a decent one, not a great one, a decent one. And a guy as aggressive as Josh, he's going to give you a lot of countering opportunities. The caveat is I don't know what kind of Josh I'm going to get because if he's depleted, his punch resistance will suffer for it. Then it's not about Lopez. Then it's not about Lopez being a big puncher. It's about this guy can't take a shot. You know what I mean?
Look at Chris Eubank, Liam Smith. Like this guy never had no punch resistance problems at all. Then he gets punched up by fucking Liam Smith.
Consequently, after having to cut weight twice in a row.
And I was talking to a dude the other day in the comments, and he was like, "Well, it wasn't the fucking elbow, bro. It was the 2 consecutive camps. That's what took it out. Because this dude was never chinny, never. I think the last thing anybody expected." Minus the Monday morning quarterbacks, is that he would get knocked out.
Especially in the 4th round.
That.
I mean,
exactly, bro. Like,
I thought he was gonna knock Liam Smith's move the fuck out.
That's what I thought.
That went opposite. That's like, oh shit, what the fuck happened?
So when you look at that, and you like, well, this dude did what was it, 156, 157 he had to make for Conroy?
158.
Yo,
Domino's in the UK, you some funny motherfuckers for that.
Yo, cut the bullshit. Y'all not eating that pizza, bro?
Nah, I really ain't.
Like, hey, man, you know what? Josh Taylor will catch his ass with a right, make him backflip, and it'll land on the canvas.
We'll see.
Hey, the key to the fight is not even Teofimo Lopez.
I think it's a more competitive fight than people think. Like, I think this could be a crossroads fight.
I'm joking.
The key to the fight ain't even Teo. It's all about Josh Taylor. Is Josh Taylor going to be weight drained? Is his body going to be recovered from all his injuries? If those two hold up,
well, you also have to consider that Teofimo's brain is a fucking basket of cats. So
it is though. Like
you never know with him, but I think
as long as
he does have
Let's say Josh is healthy.
Yeah.
Wait, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think he does have. I disagree with Leo. I kind of agree with him too, but I do think he does have. It's more favorable for him than Sandor Martin because Josh Taylor's gonna come forward.
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at. That Sandor, and that's why I picked Devin to school him because these are not guys that are going to give you countering opportunities, but a guy and a big target because Josh is a big target. He's bigger than Teofimo. Coming to you, well, that will give you some chances to counter. The question is, can you hold him off? That's where Josh's punch resistance comes into it.
The other question too is, can he mentally hold up to the pressure? Because it's
not only that, but I think with Josh is if he can physically hold up to the counter punching because he does. I mean, he said it himself. Like the weight cut, he was saying, "Oh, he made the weight cut was a piece of piss." That was his quote before the Catterall. Before the Catterall, yeah, before the Catterall fight. He said the weight cut was a piece of piss. And then after the fight, he's talking about, yeah, no, it is a big cut, and it does take something out of him. And you have to factor in, well, he's also coming off another injury,
and it's been over a year since he had to make the weight.
Yeah, like I think this is a legitimate crossroads fight because if Teofimo loses this fight, he's legitimately, I think he's done.
He was pumping on that block of his for Kinahan and all that stress. Like, damn, man, I gotta be.
The feds are on, yeah.
I gotta be on this block. I could be at work.
Nah, I mean, but in all seriousness, the fight is contingent upon. I think that the fight is more contingent upon this than anything else, and that's how Josh makes the weight. It's more about that. It's more about if Josh is Josh. If the Josh that fought Jose shows up, Teofimo gets spanked. Like that's how I would like. Let's say that the Catterall fight never happened, right? Because it's the Catterall fight that influenced our opinions and how he looked. But before that, I used to say it all the time. That Josh, that Tartan tornado, he'll fuck Lopez up. He'll be too low.
That's what I'm saying. Like even with the stylistic disadvantage and with his physical, like where he is physically with the injuries and weight cut and stuff. I still think he's just a better boxer than Teofimo in terms of skills.
He took shots from Regis Prograis, and I don't think for a second that Teofimo is as big a puncher as Regis. So if Josh is Josh, if he's the Josh, like if that was just some one-off Leon Spinks type shit, right? Let's just say Cataract is some Leon Spinks shit. If the Josh that fought Jose and the Josh that fought Regis show up, T.O. ass is grass. It's grass.
One fight ain't gonna make a difference, man. That's why I think Josh is gonna win.
Well, you can say the same thing with Teofimo, though. Like, if the Cambosos fight didn't happen, yeah, you can. You can say that if the Cambosos fight didn't happen, that if he was coming straight off, all right.
Let me have this conversation with Julio. This is the difference. Josh don't got the mental baggage that Teofimo has. He doesn't have the instability that Teofimo has. Teofimo has youthful angst. Josh is a man. You see what I mean? He don't got all that shit in his brain going on. The shit with the wife, the shit with the dad, the money shit, feeling stupid that you got beat by George and you did. He don't have that. So the mental, it already tilts to Josh. The physical, like I said, if it wasn't for the Jack Cataract fight, I would pick Josh to beat the hell out of this kid. But with Teofimo, it's not just the George Cambodia fight. It's also the Sandor Steve Martin fight. That bro, you look like shit in that fight. And you was asking yourself after the fight, do I still got it?
Yeah,
I think that's fair, but
doubted himself like that live on camera. I mean, that is a telling.
That Sandor Charles Martin fight, that's right. Not good,
but
bro.
I think as far as I think that's a
fool, bro.
Did you say Sandor Charles Martin?
Yeah, the Sandor Steve Martin fight, bro.
Y'all don't be beefing this nigga, man. This nigga be stupid as hell.
I don't know what's better than what Charles.
It's not with Teofimo. With Teofimo, understand that it's not a singular moment. It's that every moment since that moment with George, he's not the same. It's not
been an accumulation, but that we haven't saw until the Cambosos fight because he was winning. But
and it ain't like he was looking. The other shit is he didn't look amazing with Gampa. He didn't look like.
No, this is what I'm saying. He stopped him, but he looked like shit.
I mean, I thought he looked fine, but.
Bottom line, he has looked like shit ever since he got to 140. In my opinion,
I think as far as like the mental side of it, I think that we're totally discounting the fact that for the past year and a half, Josh Taylor has been under intense scrutiny by the entire boxing community because of how he got that decision. So we don't know where he is mentally either. And on top of that, he's been dealing with injury after fucking injury, and we don't know how he'll handle that mentally either. So I think it's just not as clear cut as I think people are saying. And I think that is going to be a crossroads fight in the sense that, okay, what happens if either of these guys lose? Like if Josh Taylor's to lose to Teofimo Lopez, that's going to be yet another devastating hit to his credibility.
But
because no one is giving Teofimo.
It'll be his first loss on paper, though. It's not like he lost
on paper, but he's losing to like one of the most hated people. The only guy who's more hated than him in the division right now.
Josh ain't losing that fight. I'm going to tell you that right now, man.
Napoli says the PBC is more the land of arsenic and cyanide than milk and honey.
Yeah, he ain't
lying. Me, bro.
And cyanide is no joke.
Hey, Jules, I got a question.
Hold on, I got another super chat. Juggernaut says, what's better legacy win, Tio beating Josh or Devin beating Loma?
Oh, come on.
Why even?
No. Let me be honest. Let me be honest. Out of those two fights, if Tio can pull this off, even though we're going to have our conclusions depending on what we see, but for Teofimo, it would mean a little more because it would make him a 2-division champion, and then he could go back to acting like a fucking idiot. You know, you can't act like a fucking idiot after the Sandor Steve Martin fight. You can't. Like, motherfuckers seen you, bro. They seen you was like, yo, do I still got it?
Yeah.
But if you beat Josh, then it'll be like, yeah, I'm back. Yeah. You start acting like a retard again. Take over.
Let me tell you this though. You know why I say it's Devin beating Lomachenko? Because Devin is going to be the 2-time Olympic gold medalist, a multi-weight world champion who's been in there with some good fighters.
But
he's old.
I hate to sound like a resident Teofimo fan, but bro, if Teofimo beats Josh Taylor, which I don't think he will, but that he is the former undisputed champion at 140, and we got to recognize that Josh Taylor was the man. Josh Taylor was undisputed at 140. What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you meant Tio. I was like, what are you talking about?
He was the man at Josh Taylor was the man at 140, and that'll be victories over Lomachenko and Josh.
Oh, listen. He got wait, guys. I know Tio's a dickhead, but you gotta admit that little dickhead got a good resume.
That's a fact.
Masayoshi Yokotomi of the Nakatani building, and Bruce Willis.
You know what happened in the
wait. Richard Comey, IBF champion. Vasil Lomachenko ramen noodles, unified champion. Tosh Jailer. That would make Teofilio a 2-time lineal, 2-time Ring Magazine, right? Wouldn't it? 2-division champion.
And don't forget, 2-time fake undisputed.
But to be fair, though, to add some balance, that Lomachenko fight does have an asterisk over it, because really you could say that fight was really a draw. And honestly, that's the only way I see him beating Josh too. Like if he gets like a really close, semi-controversial decision.
You got to get.
Ain't that how you had it? You had it a draw, right?
Yes.
You lost me right there.
And people gave me shit about it, and I'm like, look. And it's just boxing fans, they blow hot and cold. They go, you're a Loma. No, I'm not, bro. I'm just telling you I scored the fight. Lopez, once that guy started letting his hands go, he couldn't miss Lopez. He
went until almost the end, the middle of the 7th round. He lost the first.
I get that. No. See, it's not those rounds. I'm biased. It's that in the beginning there were quiet rounds where it's not like Lopez was ragdolling him. He wasn't. There wasn't a lot going on in those rounds. So I looked at it as, you could give some of those rounds to Loma because you wasn't laying into him. You wasn't. He didn't throw a lot, but you didn't either. So you could have given it to either of them.
It was a close fight.
I had it a draw.
I counted at least 3 swing rounds in that fight.
And I don't. Who was the echo? I don't want to be that guy.
Echo.
Jules.
He's in a cave.
I don't want to be that guy, but even if Devin wins, we know that the Loma from 3 years ago would have knocked him out. I'm not.
Listen. I said that shit. That if Devin would have got the fight when he wanted the fight, which was 3 years ago, he would have lost.
He would have got knocked out.
So I had it, I'm not saying he's bad or good. I'm just saying that if it would have been 3 years ago, I got Loma beating this kid wide.
Or even the Loma that fought Nakatani.
Of the Nakatani building with Bruce Willis.
That was 2 years ago already? Was that?
Right? But this Loma, Devin has a chance. Now, I love the fight, and I don't have a horse in that race because I just like the fight. It's a great style matchup. I don't know if Devin is going to be able to jab and smother. I don't know if Loma is going to be able to get around that, maybe work around the clinch, get some hits in. I don't know. And that's the fights I like, where it's not clear cut. It's not one way. Maybe Devin could win. He's young, he's fresh, he's fresher than Loma, but he's more drained than Loma at the same time. Stylistically, Loma got an edge that he throw punches and bunches and he could work mid-range to inside. You can't. You don't. You hold.
That's a fact. Like, I think people, the popular like take right now is that, well, it's Devin's moment. It's like a passing a torch type fight because he's young. He's the guy right now. But I think stylistically, bro, Loma, he's got everything to win that fight. And if you watch the Jojo Diaz fight, I think that Devin does have a technical disadvantage against southpaws in terms of how he slips punches and his
defense. And in the pocket, like, he's not good in the pocket. He's best when he can maintain distance and keep the guy at arm's length. But here, he's very vulnerable. If Linares hits you there and Jojo was getting some shit in there, you think Loma can't get no shit in there? No shit. The other thing is how you take a punch. You making 35. Look, I seen a picture with Devin and Crawford. He was bigger than Crawford, bro.
Yep. He's about a good 10 pounds bigger than Crawford.
And I'm like, yo, and he gonna make 35?
And if it isn't Loma that beats Devin, honestly,
I think Shakur's gonna dismantle him. 40, he would knock niggas the fuck out. That's why I said that.
I think him and Shakur are gonna fight at 140.
Pulls out at 140. Did you say Devin?
Yeah.
Devin's gonna become
no. I disagree with
his face. Bro,
I think he'll have more power at 140.
The other shit is, and this is why I love Top Rank. They got it laid out beautiful to where I don't have to worry about nothing. If Devin win, I'm going to get some Lopez, and I get to watch Lopez get schooled if Lopez win. If Devin lose, I get Shakur as Stevenson Rodriguez versus Lomachenko. And I know, see, with Shakur, it's different. I'm 100% sure Shakur beats him.
Bro, not only that, I'm 100%. I think Shakur, if he were to fight Devin, I think he would dismantle Devin, honestly.
I think that too.
Bro, and Shakur is one thing that he doesn't get credit for, bro. He's a master at escaping from clinches, dude.
Right.
Can I say
that he's a better pure? I wholeheartly believe he's a better pure boxer than he got more different shit that he do. He got like spider sense that when I watch his feet in the fight, he already getting to the side of the guy, jab, bring over some shit, then move, bring over some other shit. Devin is very good as a pure boxer, but I do think Shakur is he's kind of next level with this.
You know why that is? I think Shakur is also kind of a boxer puncher a little bit.
He can do anything. Like the Jamel Herring fight, he was pushing him back. I think, bro, if you watch the Conceição fight, Shakur, every time that Conceição tried to clinch, and it was a lot, he would run into some shit. Shakur is actually really smart on the
What I loved about the whole Conceição fight, every time Conceição get a jab, he'll get a jab out. Devin already over here. And he'll bring over some shit. And then
but fellas, I'm really looking forward to Shakur's fight with Yoshino next one. That's not a cakewalk. That's not a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk for Shakur.
But I think when it comes to Shakur, it's not going to be until he goes to 140 where we'll start seeing competitive fights, like back and forth fights.
I agree.
I can't wait for that. I want to see the real what he has in him.
Yeah, because he's going to be giving up physical disadvantages.
You don't see what I see. See him versus Lomachenko. Let's just say in a scenario in a world where Lomachenko actually beats Devin Haney, right? And he still has enough that he's still that guy. He still pivot real sharp. He still throw punches to the body. Right here, get it, bring up a shit. If he's still sharp, a fight with him and Shakur, that's going to be some Neo and Matrix type shit, bro. It'll be that kind of fight. Imagine the Conceição fight was a good ass fight, low key. They was throwing.
That was a good fight.
They wasn't fucking around. They was throwing. Imagine Shakur, but it's Loma, and they throwing, bro. That'd be a mean old fight. So that's why I fuck with Top Rank, bro, because they got it laid out to where you don't really lose, depending on you. We don't lose if Devin win. We gonna get Lopez down the line, maybe if Lopez win.
Yeah, I gotta ask you this question, Jules. Shakur at 130 or Vasily Lomachenko at 130? Who wins?
At that weight, I would pick Lomachenko because he did
at that time. Yeah.
At that time, if you're saying give me Loma's entire 130 pound campaign versus Shakur's 130 pound campaign, Loma's was better.
Yeah, I got Loma.
He wasn't really there that long. The most that he did was Valdez, which was good. It's not even that it's bad, but he really wasn't there that long at 130. Didn't do a whole lot there.
They really didn't do a whole lot. That's why I said that. Vasily and Shakur didn't really do a whole lot at 26 and 30.
But I would say that 130 was a better weight. See, the way it is now, and it's the role reversal. 130 was a better weight for Loma than Shakur because Shakur outgrew it. That's an ideal weight for Loma. Like, that's ideal for him. Whereas now at 35, 35 is actually better for Shakur than it is for Loma. Yeah. He need that extra, like, oh, thank God I don't got to cut that 5 pounds.
He said several times that he's not a natural lightweight. He said several times.
Yeah, so it's like right now, like I love that fight. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. It all depends on who wins. But that's why I like Haney versus Loma more than Garcia versus Mavis.
I really can see Shakur Stevenson fighting Lomachenko.
Bro, he might. You know what I mean? And that's more important to me than this old varsity ass fight with these guys, bro. Like, y'all fight and somebody win. What the fuck you gonna do after that? Fucking nothing, bro. Nothing. You're not gonna fight shit. If Garcia win, you gotta fight Davis again because he got a rematch, Santa Claus. You don't just get to leave. He got a rematch, Santa Claus.
You a funny nigga, Jesus Christ.
No, but for real though, he does have a rematch clause. So if Ryan wins, you might have to run that back. If Davis wins, well, you wasn't fighting shit anyway. You probably gonna go up and fight the winner of Puello Romero for the WBA title or whatever.
I got Puello.
Jules, I didn't get a chance to ask you this question. I heard, and I couldn't confirm this, that the whole thing with Canahan in part was because of Bob Arum.
It was.
So that means Bob Arum got the pull to get Josh Taylor into New York.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Well, remember, Bob's background, as much as we joke around about Bob Arum being a wise guy, which I still think he is, it's not like the government ain't criminals. They are. That's just another game. But remember how he got his start, and remember, he has friends in high places. Shout out to Alexis Rimbero because he was the first, and he said this a long time ago. Kinahan was trying to infiltrate Bob's area of operations, and he started stepping on toes. And as soon as he did that, that's when these U.S. sanctions from the U.S. Treasury Department started. That's when all of that started. And Bob said, yeah, this dude tried to do bully tactics, and we wasn't going to go for that.
People don't realize Bob Arum started with the IRS auditing.
Yeah.
So his ties go directly to the other side where, okay, if the money looks funny, I can get the IRS or somebody of that ilk.
Who seen The Last of Us? Who seen that? The shit on HBO. Who seen Last of Us?
I need to watch it.
Look. It's like Bob Arum's ties in government. It's like the roots of the fungus. Like it go all the way in through the
Bob
system.
Arum's the mycelium. He's the mycelium.
He's the mitochondria of the shit, bro. Like, you can't fuck with Bob, bro. That dude is all in that shit, B. Like,
well, didn't Bob come out and say that like Kinahan tried to squeeze him? Basically,
that's what I'm. Yeah, he said his words were, they tried to use bully tactics on us, and we didn't like that. Wow, and that's when, and he said that's when we stopped. In his words, verbatim, he said that's when we stopped doing business with them.
You know, Bob created the WBO belt. This is a fact.
No, that Frank Warren. I thought that was Frank Warren.
It stands for what Bob ordered. That's what.
Oh,
hey, bro, I thought you knew, man. When the president picks up the red phone, it rings in Bob's office, dog.
Word, the Bob signal flies over Gotham. The Bob signal.
I didn't know that he worked for the IRS.
Oh, yeah,
he must have on
the Kennedy murder.
Steve Kim will tell the story. Although when I ask him, Bob started with the IRS, and then once he saw how you could cook the books in boxing, he made a career change.
Because if you got I would advise any of you guys. You can't really, but sort of. Not now, not the way things are now, because there's an established network now. But basically, boxing is the ultimate way to launder money. It is it's so easy. It's you could cook the shit out them books. Put a little adobo in it, a little garlic, a little pepper. Bro, I could say, yo, look. I could launder $3 million right now. All I gotta say is I sold $3 million in tickets. How the fuck you gonna tell me different? You don't know what I was charging for them tickets. What you think? They gotta show me ID. I'm telling you, I sold $3 million worth of tickets. It ain't shit you could tell me about it. And you need a warrant to look at my books anyway. Unless I've committed a crime, officer, you ain't got no reason to be looking at my books to begin with.
Yo, Jules, I sent you a Instagram post. it's akin to what Bob Arum fucks with. Though, the Instagram post I sent you was this. These are the type of people that Bob Arum circumvents with. Like these people Bob Arum fucks with, they're not regular people. You can't just play bully ball with them. Like, not at all. Like
the worst thing Daniel could have did was try to infiltrate Bob's area of operations forcefully, because this is Bobby country. This is Bob country. Like, for real though, like, no cap. This is Bobby. He got friends in places, and the smartest thing you could do is work with him, not against.
You incorrectly called him his out of his name. It's Bobbert's country.
Bobbert. All right, this is Bobbert's. Like, this.
Fuck around and find out.
For real, like the smartest thing you could do is don't try to step on his toes. Work with him. Work with him. He's old. If you would have did this right, Danny boy, I know you listening. If you would have did this right, you could have been running Top Rank.
That's cool, I know that's what he want. But yo, let me tell you this though, Jules, pull up that post I sent to you in your DM. I need you to see that, please.
Are you guys watching this DAZN card?
No.
I'm not, because I got to work in 40 minutes.
Isn't that Heather Hardy?
Read how crazy that shit is. Read how crazy that shit is.
Heather Hardy fight? Anybody know?
Arkansas police declare suicide and mysterious death of former Bill Clinton aide linked to Jeffrey Epstein, despite the advisor being found tied to a tree and shot in the chest. That's a mystery,
all right? It was suicide. Bullshit.
Yeah, he tied himself to the tree and
he
shot himself 3 times.
So these are the people that Bob Arum fuck with. Like, yo, no, that's the caliber of people Bob Arum mess with. So you just can't
saying, like, yo, that whole Epstein shit is that nobody been locked up, even though everybody knows there's a list. It's
yo, Jules, let me tell you something. If I got beef in the streets, I'm calling the Clintons. I got beef in the street.
Yeah, hey man, you ever notice that mysteriously a lot of the people around the Clintons mysteriously have died over the years? Like,
bro, a lot of people. Listen, not just the Clintons, bro. In general, I want to know what's in that. Like, we're probably never gonna know. Honestly, we're probably never gonna know. It's too damning. Too many powerful people are in that shit. But it's crazy that they're doing all of this in front of us, and we more or less know, but we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, we can. We gotta. At the end of the day, violence begets violence.
Nah, dog. They'll send one of them drones shaped like a pigeon. The dick will pop out and start shooting bullets.
Yo, I would cry too. But I ain't gonna hold you. Let me tell you this. That's the main reason why Trump didn't get reelected. Because I tell you this, Trump's ass was on fire. He was gonna snitch on all of them. And the reason, think about it like this: I'm in the most powerful position. I'm just like you, motherfuckers. If I'm not with the bullshit, I'm gonna have to give you people up. Why do you think he had to get out? Because I'm telling you, if Epstein had to face trial, that would have been. You think the OJ trial would have had all that attention?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, bro, it's bigger than us, bro. Because I'm like. Motherfuckers know, like, low key, motherfuckers know everything they need to know, honestly. Like, we don't even need we know, but we're powerless to stop them, because
I think it's worse than
anybody with more than like $100 million in their bank account is a pedophile. That's all. That's just all I learned from that.
Say allegedly.
Oh, allegedly.
And the thing about it is, it's like the tyranny that you often hear about, right? Like, that the right to bear arms is essentially the ability to fight off the tyranny of government. That's supposed to be a safeguard. That's why that's in the Constitution. When the reality is, the tyrannical guys already won. If they want one of us dead, we're dead.
Bro, the Second Amendment is just a giant binky, bro. Because we have the most firearms of any country, and there's no fucking challenge against tyranny at all in this country.
Bro, it's a sugar pill, bro. It's a fucking placebo.
I'm saying, bro.
Because you bought a couple of guns, you think you can? Do you know what these people have, bro? Do you know? Listen.
Do you people understand the depravity and the war?
It's an Al Haymon check, bro. It's enough to get by, but not enough to really do anything.
Marine guy told me, I'm not going to get into the whole story, but basically the car battery on his Humvee ran out. He told me this was a true story. he said that they charged the shit with a beam that came down from a satellite, charged the battery where he was at. I'm like, bro, you lying? And he's like, no, I'm not lying, bro. I'm like, they got shit.
It's a fucking game. It's not a fucking game.
Listen. He told me, and he kind of put me onto this, or he kind of made me realize it. He the one that told me to, like, you got to understand that all these different things that we have that we use as commodities on a regular basis in regular society, these were military applications first.
Yes.
And the stuff that we're using now is maybe 20, 30 years old to the military, the kind of stuff that we got. So if this is what we got, think about what we got, that I know my man Leo is in Chile. I know my man Chris is in the tribe. You know, that we know where we are. Just imagine the other shit that you don't know that they have. You know what I mean? The other type of shit. They might have pigeons, machine gun bullets in their meat sack.
They know how many ass hairs we have. Like, that's what they know, bro.
Stupid.
Real shit out here, bro. It's terrible. That's why I said it yesterday. If shit go down, I'm moving to the poorest fucking country because ain't nobody gonna fuck with them because ain't no reason to fuck with them. They poor. And I'm gonna just dye my hair blonde. My name is gonna be Gunter, and I'm gonna just speak Spanish. Like, I don't who's Julie? Yenga Julius. I don't know who that is, bro.
Yo, Jules, let me tell you something. Yo, look at Syria and look at all these places that are poor. They'll fuck with a country just for the fuck of it. These people are super duper.
No. If you play ball, I'll go to fucking Uruguay, bro. I don't even know what's over. I don't even know what Uruguay people look like, bro. I will go over there and I will.
You ever see Luis Suarez?
Hey, Uruguay people look white.
All I gotta do is dye my hair blonde or like Auburn, and I wear cardigans and shit.
Hey, I was in the Army for 20 years, man. 20 years in the infantry. Your Marine boy, his story's bullshit.
You think so?
Yeah, look, I'll give it to you like this. This is how up to date I am with our technology in the military. I retired February of last year from the 82nd Airborne Division. There ain't no technology where you're in a Humvee, bro, and a satellite's charging your battery, man. I'm sorry, it's not a thing, bro.
Bro, look, I would believe that, right? I would, like, maybe two things can be true at the same time because it is possible to remotely charge a battery. It is.
That is, but the Humvees, they don't have that kind of battery.
I'll take your word for it because you know better than I do.
But
that's just what I was told. It's just what I was told. That's all I could say.
I mean, okay, I get, yeah.
I'm like I said, I can't, bro. I can't tell you. Nah, I can't. All I can say is that's just what I was told.
By the way, thank you for your service.
Yeah, I spent some time on the Special Forces side of the house and the conventional regular Army.
I just want to thank
for the last 20 years, and
so I gotta ask.
You got some shit. Here's the thing. I will tell you this: when you said the things that the civilians fuck with, and that's new to them or to us, because I'm a civilian now. Yeah, like we're about 10, 15 years ahead of that with some things, but that stuff's not available to the entire military.
Yeah.
Only certain parts.
No, a lot of people don't know that though, is that most innovations come from the public sector. Like,
so, hey, your smartphone, right? I'll give you an example. Your smartphone, GPS, and the internet. Let's start with the internet. The internet was designed by DARPA, and they were going to use it as a enclosed military application for communication. They were like, you know what? I'll give you the short version. We don't like this. Nah, fuck this. Here you go. And they threw it to the civilian population. Boom, everybody got the internet. GPS, the same thing. They came up with that and they realized, you know what? This is a good thing all around. They dropped it. But it was put on DARPA to figure out GPS for the military. So because of DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Project, right, which is a Department of Defense fucking agency, because of them, we have GPS because they were trying to figure out shit for the military, and we have the internet because they were trying to figure out shit for the military.
I heard that the slap chop actually came from the Navy.
Bro, get the fuck out of here. Why you keep bringing up the slap chop, bro?
Bro, that's a legendary invention. The rotato came from...
it sounds like something gay, like two dudes would do to each other, so yeah, it probably came from the Navy.
Like, you be slap chopping, right? Hell yeah. You ever had your shit pushed in home?
Like, hey, what's your slap?
That's actually, that's actually like, so a historian by trade, and like I was reading about like sailors, and literally all they used to do was just have sex with each other. Like they would just
all right,
Hey,
bro.
yo.
Calm the fuck out.
Come on,
bro, because they're at sea. They're at sea like every single day of the year. They literally just at some point they just came.
Come on now, like what the fuck?
Hey, I'm a historian too. I'm actually studying history in school right now in college, but like, damn, bro, that was a bit much, bro. I'm just
that was a lot, bro. Like that was a lot, bro. Like,
bro. But to the military guy on here,
Jews don't even know how to feel right now. Look at him, man.
Because you know what? Because as soon as he said it, the mental, and I'm like, bro, why do I got a mental image of this shit, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Hey, all them sailors slap chatting each other and shit.
Yo,
No good.
Oh, what the fuck, bro?
I ain't fucking with y'all, man.
Look, man, Violet Myers, Mia Khalifa, Ice Spice, bro. All right, Ice Spice.
Yo, Jules in chat. Yo, I'm just telling you, bro. Like, imagine walking in, you see one of your men like,
oh my God, what you doing, bro? Like, why you taking it back there? I was literally thinking about Ice Spice.
Hey,
imagine if you catch your man and he B, like
they called him sea queens.
Now Jules ain't gonna be able to go to sleep.
Come on, I can't take no more than sea queen. I'm done, yo.
Project Mermaid is a go. Project Ariel.
Hey,
So
man,
how's the weather? How's the weather?
Hey, that's why when 100 sailors go out to sea, man,
Jules will
50
go to
couples come
sleep,
back.
man, and he'll be seeing that shit in his sleep, man.
No, don't say that. Don't say
yo,
that.
bro, the military guy, yo, thank you for laying niggas down for this country. Thank you, man. Because real talk, outside of the jokes and all, thank you for your service and thank you for what you do because you sacrificed a lot for ungrateful fucks like us, man.
And thank you,
I want to ask Alex because my spider sense is tingling, right? And you'll know more than me.
Ooh,
go ahead, bro, man. Come on now. You'll know more than me. World War III is about to start, isn't it?
It is.
All right, so
yes, it is.
The first compliment and statement. Hey, I appreciate it, my brother, man. It's my pleasure. Like I don't take the comments well like that, but it's my pleasure, man. Like that's all I got to say. It's my pleasure, man. And then to your question, Jules, I'll put it to you like this. Before I retired, before I left 82nd Airborne Division, I had this little cush job in an office, and I worked in what we call the Joint Operations Center. So we track a lot of things. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yep.
All right. So I took it upon myself, knowing I was going to be retiring in like the next 11 months, I'd be out. I took it upon myself to start learning Russian, and I'm still studying it to this day. That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
And this was before they invaded Ukraine.
Yo, you can say "suck my dick" in Russian, though.
So, nah, I ain't learned dick.
Because I'm just saying it because I'm pretty good at this. And I feel like it's about to go down.
Well, you know, there's this famous I'm
not a dude.
If I may interject,
I'm not a dude who's sitting somewhere where I have the answer, but I'm just going to tell you this. So, if you look at the recent events in the last 18 months, and you look at Putin and his history, and his, from a psychological standpoint, and his own motivations, okay, with the dissolution of the Soviet Union and him wanting to get that back. You look at his age, right? You look at the fact that his army isn't what he boasted it to be, and the world knows it now. So all he has left is nukes to show somebody that, you know, how big his fucking dick is, and his age, and he's dying soon.
Yeah, because he's sick.
So you're dealing with a man who wants the real Russia back. He wants the Soviet Union put back together, right? He talked about that since he was a kid. And then you look at, he has nukes, and now the whole world knows his tanks aren't what they promoted them to be. His infantry's not, fuck, it's terrible, right? They can't feed their army. Their logistical support is shit. So the only thing he has before this man dies, because once he's dead, he doesn't give a fuck what happens to the world, right?
Yeah.
Is to show everybody, I can do this though, and that's nuclear armament.
Exactly. Like I was, you
That's the simple version of.
He's a young.
Can I contribute?
If I could, Jules, we are on the verge of World War III. Man,
if I could contribute something, so there's this really famous. All right.
I was gonna say, you gotta understand, like the brother's saying, Putin raised as a kid, grew up idolizing Stalin. Like, I want that back. So in his mind, he has a righteous, Orthodox Christian view of like the West is full of degradation. If you watch anybody watch his speech, he had a lot of good points about the West and the degradation of the family structure, what we're doing in terms of the sexual degradation.
So
that's a man that's led consciously by, I feel I have a duty to God and Mother Russia.
Well, let me condense it because I did watch the speech, and I see a fundamentalist, an old one, which to me, just like Alex described, I see a very dangerous guy who's knocking on death's door. Doesn't mean shit to him to fire a nuke. He doesn't have much longer. I've heard the rumors that he's sick. I've heard those rumors that he's not just his age, that he's actually sick. I've heard those rumors.
No, he's not.
And I was watching his speech, and I'm like, this is probably a speech similar to the one Adolf Hitler gave before he decided to do all the things that he did. I see a guy, he wants war. That's what I see. And I'm like, bro, like it or not, we might be on the eve of nuclear war.
I don't like that, bro.
It's already started with the proxy wars and the espionage, and then China. China thinks the same thing.
Nuclear war is different, Drew.
I know, but China's thinking the same. China's thinking the same thing. President Xi.
China's egging him on.
Yeah, because they also feel they have a righteous retribution towards the West.
I'll tell you guys this, man. Hopefully, this will put y'all at ease a little bit. I don't know, but I'll tell you this: if nuclear war breaks out, once again, I'm going to condense this. I'll give you the short version, right? Sorry, that's my wife. She's sneezing. My bad. Babe, so I'm going to give you the short version. If the nuclear war breaks out, the U.S. will prevail. We will be damaged a lot. We'll lose millions, but we will survive. Majority of the opposing nukes, even if it's Russia and China, could team up. Our nuclear defense system, we're going to be okay. We'll lose some major cities, not all. We'll lose a lot of farm towns. But other than that, we will recover and we'll be okay and we'll come out on top, but it won't be pretty.
It won't be because, I mean, with all the money we spend on defense, we should at least be able to see all that. But do you think we're witnessing a changing world order in our lifetime?
I think yes. If I could contribute something real quick.
The axis of power, look, I'm just going to let y'all know I'm fucking psychic, right? You be afraid because the axis of power is shifting to the east.
That's a fact. Like, there's this really prominent French historian, if you guys are interested. His name is Emmanuel Todd. And he basically...
I raised him.
Yeah, you educated him. No, but he's argued that, he's argued that World War III already started. Like, it's just the fact that the United States and, like, the sort of, Western hegemonic ideology of liberalism and things like that, it's waning because, like, just look at our, like, our response to what Russia's doing, what China's doing, right? It's all these sanctions that, for the most part, because of, South Africa and Brazil, I think it was Brazil, and then India buying all of Russia's oil. Mm-hmm. Like all our attempts to undermine the Russian economy as a response to this has failed. Like they've actually managed to not totally fall apart.
We're in the spring
right now. Right. So like this 100%. Resistance is like in the Russian point of view, like they have to win the war in Ukraine because it's like it's an existential question. Like it's part of their existence. If they let NATO build a base in Ukraine, then that's the end of the Russian, that's the end of the Russian identity.
Well, yeah, because
in their worldview. Whereas we see them as just another. We see them as another chess player. Like we see them as one proxy war in a million other proxy wars.
One at a time.
The U.S. is basically NATO, and we'll end up on their front doorstep, and they don't want that.
Well, that and listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys because I can pinpoint the moment that set these events in motion. It was approximately 3 years ago when Usyk beat Gassiev. That did it.
Yo, go
also, like Jules, you mentioned that like Western, the Western domination.
Oh no, the West is no. I mean, I look if I'm gonna stop fucking around and I'm gonna be serious and I'm being deadly serious, the West is gonna fall. Yeah, it is.
Like I don't think we're gonna fall, but I think we're just not gonna be an empire. It's the death of an empire, basically. Like we're not gonna rule the world anymore.
If you there's a great book. He's a billionaire investor, Ray Dalio, The Changing World Order. He went through a whole research of empires, and generally empires only last to about 200 and 250 years. Then when they reach the apex of their decadence.
We haven't even reached our apex yet.
Yes, we have. Well, our decadence, yes, we have.
Well, I mean, just
the economy's never going to get. We're way past the golden age of the 50s and the 60s, where a high school diploma can get you a living.
I say that I feel like I say that I think that as a populace, a lot of us in America, we're getting dumber. I believe that is a byproduct. I believe that is a byproduct of how successful we've been, and I feel like as a society, we in particular, not just everybody else, but we in particular. We've peaked already, and now we're literally getting dumber. We're not focusing on the important things anymore as a populace. Look at the arguments that people are having. I mean, everybody knows Spence ducked Crawford, but the population won't accept it because they're fucking dumb.
No, well, to your point, hold on. To you and Drew's point, like that's one of the big problems that America's facing is like, in terms of education, there are way more Russian students who are, pursuing engineering degrees than there are in the United States, and even way more in China. And like our economy can only be competitive by importing Chinese students, like importing Chinese labor. Essentially, that's what we have to literally be
LeBron James of the world.
Yeah, like we're taking peptide shots for real.
But if I'm going to be getting my PhD in history, if you just study history, this happens. No empire remains fucking at the top forever.
Eventually, the frontier comes home. Like all our internal contradictions are shown.
Don't sound so fucking happy about it, Drew, because you
I love it just because of what I'm experiencing. Because I'm a student of history, so I love.
Yeah, this is my last nerd comment.
I love studying warlords, conquering, like this stuff. This is in our nature.
You got to remember, like I'm also a student of history. But here's my last nerd comment. If you look at the history, right, you got to keep in mind, right. That's our data based off of time where things no longer operate the way they do.
That's true.
So there's going to be an adjustment for our time period on that outcome. You know what I'm saying, brother?
No, that's the no. Listen, that's the fundamental flaw in the model, that we're looking at the way things were, which doesn't necessarily reflect the way that things are. That's true. That's the fundamental. That's like the weather thing that I always bring up, that they keep saying global warming, and I keep saying, well, how long have you been recording weather? Not that long. Yeah. How do you know that this isn't all cyclical? You've only been recording weather for X amount of time. For all I know, this is part of a bigger cycle that predates humans. You never know. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that you have to adjust it to a modern society because things aren't the way that they were. We're not throwing spears at each other, right?
No, but we're with the fundamental nature of man. Is as a conqueror, that's never gonna change. Just the schematics and how it looks in a modern age will change, but there's always going to be someone that wants to flex their dick as a man.
How long before they activate Skynet?
Bro, they have.
You gotta look at President Z. Jules, you're a Capricorn. President Z is influenced by fucking Mao. He wants to recreate that fucking legacy.
Bro, if you go talk that Capricorn shit, I'm gonna tell you what. It's just a belief, but it's just, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I was wrong about fucking Ugas, right? So I hope I'm wrong about this. I hope I'm wrong
about Fulton too.
You're right. I was wrong about Fulton. He proved me wrong. So I hope I'm wrong about this, but I just feel like we're kind of close. I feel like we're kind of close. We're close, and that's not good.
I got my dual citizenship to a country
that already happened. Shit has already happened.
I got my dual citizenship to a country that's friendly with Russia and China.
Well, look, I could pass for Syrian, so if push comes to shove,
I'm going to one of those Amazonian communities. Walk around the fucking loincloth.
Bro, why you think Russia?
White people fight white people. I'm black. This has nothing to do with me.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna go to an island, Chris. I'm going to go to an island. I'm going to walk around with my dick out. It's going to sit in the sand. Crabs are going to poke at it and shit like that. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. The dick go down. I'm walking outside on the beach, dick out, swimming.
Yo,
I can't take it.
you betting on your cock is crazy.
No, I'm just joking. No, but it is scary that like that's jokes, but comedic, comic relief to ease the tension in the room and all of that. But it's scary when you paying attention to it. And what kills me is like I don't think people realize how close we are. I don't think they do.
I think we would have been closer if we would have saw what Epstein knew, because I think these people even who do all this nefarious shit, they know that this stuff is going to happen.
Yeah, but that's just recreation. Look what they did, and not to say that they should all be burned and dipped in an acid bath for the shit that they did. But that is the things about that. That's leisure stuff. That's recreational stuff. That's what those people do because they have too much power. So they're corrupt.
But at the end of the day, what they do leisurely.
Let me break it down to you in simplest terms. Alex just said it, which is what made me pay attention. This guy is old. He may be sick. He may already be dying, and he is a fundamentalist. That's what he is. He's a fundamentalist. Old, sick guy. He's a fundamentalist. And to him, NATO is at his door, which we all know he's never wanted that. Bro, what do you think?
Hey, you know what's crazy? A lot of Americans don't want to hear this, but when I explain this to them, they look at me and they're like, fuck, you got a point, bro. So I'm going to break y'all down. I'm going to put all of us in Putin's shoes right now. We're chilling. We run the United States. And then Russia puts missiles in Canada and puts bases and missiles in Mexico.
Facts.
Hey, are we cool with that?
Oh, we would, bro. If Canada was arming separatist groups in Michigan, we'd be bombing the shit out of Canada.
That's the point I made earlier, though.
The thing about NATO, everybody.
That's the point I made earlier, man. I don't know if you guys heard me, but that's the point I made earlier because NATO being right there in Ukraine, that's on their front
NATO.
doorstep.
The U.S. runs NATO.
Yeah.
Look how worked up they got in the 50s when they was trying to fuck with Castro and put missiles over there in Cuba.
My father told me this, that the United States said to Castro, you fuck around, we will wipe Cuba off the face of the fucking earth.
Cuba's still there, though.
Yeah,
okay, no, but Castro's the only one that Castro had the balls to stand up to that shit. Like, all right, motherfucker.
Arevalo in Mexico.
Okay, all right, Cuba, but does Cuba have Russian missile?
I'm just, hey, bro. I'm just telling you, Cuba is still there. So let's cut the
Cuba
crap.
is still there, and Castro. How many assassination attempts did Castro beat?
They still there.
Okay, I read you guys this. No. Did Russia put their shit in Cuba? No, they didn't. So that's why Cuba's still there. Let's not play them games, bro.
I didn't play. I'm just telling you they said some hot shit, but they didn't do that shit.
Okay.
Guillermo Gandial, Erislan Di Lara.
You don't even fuck with those two boxers, so stop it.
Damn sure don't. But they still there. I still got to put up with their ass because they
stupid.
Let me tell you this. If we could bomb Japan back in the 40s the way we did, what makes you think we couldn't have done that to Cuba? Let's not play them games. America's
don't what if me, motherfucker. If we was going to do that, we'd have did that. We didn't do that. The question you need to ask yourself on the inside is why.
Because Russia did not put their missiles in Cuba. That's it. And think about it. Look at it like this: who's still in Cuba in Guantanamo? The United States of America.
Gamboa.
Guantanamo Bay is still there. Okay.
Gamboa.
That's hilarious, man.
Hey, listen, guys. Y'all have a wonderful. I'm gonna go to work. Jack Catterall for heavyweight championship.
You feel me? Ryan, say it one more time with your chest, baby.
Have a good one.
One more time.
Yo, you wild for that, bro. You wild for that. But listen, yo, like I just see it's a very dangerous time, and to the point that Alex made, that is what Americans don't like to hear for all this bleeding heart stuff. If Russia was at our door at the southern border or the northern border, well, we wouldn't like that any more than they like NATO being on their border. We wouldn't like that.
Well, the education level of the average American is in the fucking trash. There's a reason Saudi Arabia is adding Mandarin to their equivalent of the K through 12 curriculum.
What about tangerines?
But if we don't see nuclear war anytime soon,
motherfucker said tangerine.
So like if we don't see nuclear war anytime soon, the depression we're gonna see when Artificial.
Yeah, that's coming. Yeah, that's coming too, Drew. That's coming.
No, I'm
too.
saying if we don't see that first, we're going to see a depression worse than the 20s when artificial intelligence takes over every industry at scale.
And I don't see a way. Like when I think about the economic crisis, we could be on the verge. If nothing else, we could be on the verge of an economic crisis. Because of the national debt, and it's like, bro, I just don't see. Like, how are we gonna fix this, bro? We need aliens, man.
No, we don't. It's not going to get fixed, you know, because it's our nature to do this to each other. When societies reach a certain level,
so fucking happy about it, Drew.
I'm happy because I like seeing it play out. You know, I love this type of shit.
You have to live through it, motherfucker.
Hey, what? Yo, this guy's sick,
bro. Do you want to go outside and no tomatoes?
You gotta understand, when a society reaches a certain level of population, the stronger people that can take advantage of the weaker, it'll always do that.
Bro, I just
want
to ejaculate, bro. I don't want to be in crisis
but
mode.
we're not meant as a species to live in these large amount of populaces.
Well, that I will concede that we're not. We're actually that I will concede that the growth of the human populace, it's like the planet's not getting bigger, but the populace is. So something's got to give.
And on top of that, our cognitive function as humans has not caught up to the advances we made technologically. Our mind is still very fucking primitive. Look at the fucking world out there. Bunch of fucking idiots.
It is. Look, Ice Spice is fucking garbage, but I still watch the video. Why?
Well, you guys, it's like that Homer Simpson's brain. You know how many people got up the monkey with the symbols in their brain?
I'm trying to tell you, Ice Spice's music is haraka. That shit is trash. But I bet you me and Chris is still watching the whole video.
In this generation, yeah, people seriously want to be referred to as they, them, or Zer.
Yo, this nigga
Jules, can I make can I make a confession? Jules, you brought up Ice Spice, right? Do you know how many times I've gone to her Twitter account in the last week?
Bro, don't tell me.
With a bottle of lotion in his hand.
Remember a couple lives ago. I'm not surprised he does that, because remember a few lives ago we asked him straight up.
God, and y'all gonna stay on the
said to do this, and he got quiet and he started stuttering. Remember, I'm not gonna say what it was. But you know,
all right.
Ladies, I just need to tell you this, ladies. Don't marry any fucking sailors, okay?
Boy, Julio, I had a response.
What I was trying to make is that what Drew said is true, because our minds are still very primitive enough that no matter what, believe it or not, which is kind of sad, we always give in to our baser instincts. We always do. If I have to listen to 3 minutes of hot garbage, the worst bars that have ever been spat, to look at a fat old ass.
Yep.
Hey, we're not gonna do it.
Well, we can manage. We'll manage.
You're gonna do it, bro. What are you
gonna do it? That's just we're wired that way.
Let's go to Instagram.
We'll manage. I had a retort for Julio. Julio, I had a retort. I don't tell you how to live your life. All right, go ahead.
Bro, we were just talking about like, yo, Putin is a Russian irredentist, and now we're talking about jerking off to Ice Spice. What the fuck?
I didn't say nothing.
I'm gonna tell you.
Say nothing about that.
That proves my point of how fucking primitive we really are.
Okay,
bro. We are animals in an alien.
And I like Putin.
Y'all some munches, man.
Nah, I think Putin. I think look at maladjusted, bro. I do. I
like leaders. I like fucking.
Bro, he's not a strong leader, bro. I used to think that, but when things played out, I'm like, nah, dog. Like, and in reality, there's a lyric in a song. No, it's not a lyric. It's actually it's from Mr. Robot, that all of our heroes are counterfeit. That's how I think of all of our leaders. Like, you know what? They all suck.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it takes a certain level of leader to get to that level.
Bro, he sucks.
At one time, he was fucking knew what he was. They all suck, but
I believe that people are supposed to rule themselves, bro. I don't believe. The more I think about that, like, your dog, one guy with that much power, there's no way it doesn't go wrong. There's no way.
You gotta understand, though. You're talking about you say that very what's that word I'm looking for? Like you have hope, but look at the average human. Humans need to be led. They want to delegate the fucking responsibility of society to someone else. That's what opens the doors for guys like Putin. Like, look, think about it. He delegated too much. That's why he didn't know his army was shit. But he still got to that. You got to be a sociopath to lead at that level.
Bro, I don't want to be a sociopath, bro.
Why do
and
can I say one of the greatest Capricorn leaders?
I know Joseph Stalin was a sociopath.
No, not just him. Mao.
Mao was a
yes. God. Mao took all the fucking politicians, druggies, and all that, put them in a fucking corner, and shot them all. Fuck you guys, fucking degenerates.
Well,
that was a Capricorn.
Oh my god, he's like Mauricio Suleiman. It's like Mauricio Suleiman. He took all the sanctioning fees and put them in a corner.
But what we're doing right now in America, we're mimicking ancient Greece. When they started practicing pedophilia open and their version of trans, that's when their society started to fall drastically.
One thing that I heard that heralds the fall of society, believe it or not. One thing that I heard that is supposed to be fundamental to the fall of any society, any empire. When the women can walk around nude, that's what heralds the fall of a society. I read that somewhere.
That's the sexual degradation of each other.
Yeah. I read
that. Plus, have y'all seen like fashion shows? What the fuck do these people be wearing nowadays?
I don't know.
Like it's like.
I think those big red boots herald the apocalypse.
Oh, the Proto Man boots. The Proto Man boots.
Yeah. The fucking apocalypse.
Like Astro Boys. The Astro Boy boots.
All right.
We're getting the Mega Man.
Oh my god.
Guys, have you seen the Hunger Games?
What?
Yeah.
Look,
have we seen the what, Leo? Say it again.
The Hunger Games.
Oh,
yeah. I think the movie is mid, really. But
I hate those films. I don't like those movies
something
at all.
They were spot on. Do you remember the kind of clothing, the kind of fashion they had the upper streets? That shit, it's exactly the same that is fashion.
Exactly.
They were all wearing
They're
all wearing Kanye's clothes.
Yeah. The Jaden Smiths. Ice Spice is mid. Nah, chill.
No, she ain't. No, she ain't.
I'm not going. Like, I'm not going to do that because I don't have to lie. That's good.
She's bad, bro.
You said she was a Fordham Road joint originally.
I did, but I said you're not saying the whole thing. Don't misquote me. I said on 161st on a D train, she's a 10. If you on a D train and you see that's a 10, bro. Ain't that a 10? On a D train on 161st. On 59th Street, when you crossing over from the 1 to get to the A and the B, the A and the C, I mean, that's a 10, bro. Now, maybe that's not a 10 in California, but it's a 10.
I'm a Cali. I'm a Cali. I can tell you. I'd say she's a solid 8.5. A solid 8.5.
Bad joint, bro.
Yeah.
The shit is that shit ain't gonna last. Like, that's what I see. They're like, yeah, you good right now. Like Doja Cat. Oh man, she got an old lady butt.
And she shaved her head and the eyebrows. Like, come on.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like, it would have been all right if she wouldn't have that old. I seen her on a pole earlier today, B, and her shit looked like a book bag with mad books in it.
I mean, anyway, circling back to the front, man.
Tony Harrison. Let's break down.
We ain't getting off that.
Hold on, country. 1 sec. Let me just circling back to the Proto Man red boots. I mean, seriously, who? If anybody asks me, hey, yo, man, how do I look in these? I'd be like, what drugs did you take and what did you get them from? Like, seriously, I mean,
dude, I wouldn't even be able to speak. I would laugh.
There's a myth. There's a rumor on Google that if you can, the cellulite on Doja Cat's ass cheeks, it's like Braille, and if you can read it, it'll tell you.
It's fucking Braille.
It'll tell you where the Ark of the Covenant is. It's the coordinates. It's the coordinates of the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, this nigga's a psycho.
He said the Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant is
like Braille, bro. If you could just
talking Braille.
Yeah, her ass cellulite is the coordinates to the Ark of the Covenant.
I ain't gonna hold you. That's the longitude and the latitude.
I thought it was the coordinate to where the real number for the PBC pay-per-view buys were.
Yo, it'll tell you where the Isaac Cruz numbers are.
It'll tell you where Adrien Broner's money is.
Hey man, hey, if I see anybody with those boots, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yo.
Oh my god!
Oh shit, bro!
Oh my fucking god! I'm crying.
Nah, but there is. If you go to Reddit and you Google Doja Cat cellulite, it gives you a whole roadmap of what you got to do. And
that shit is the coordinates to El Dorado.
I can stop running Doja Cat's fucking cellulite.
Bro, listen, I'm just saying. I was on Twitter. It was a live from her Instagram. She was on a stripper pole. Like I said, her shit looked like a JanSport with a math book in it. Like it just. A big math book. Like that shit was just like, look.
That shit is like Calculus 5.
Oh, dude.
That's fucking hilarious, bro.
The wild shit is that this time last year she was bad, and something is
hell yeah.
Her shit looked like melted ice cream, B. Like it's just
bro, I ain't gonna hold you. And them fucking book bags, when they hit you, feel like a ton of bricks. They'll
For real, like
back up on you at
it's
all.
a social studies book in there, a math book. That shit is just
a NASA student book bag.
ELA.
You know what I'm saying? Let me read the super chat. Humans used to get led by God. Western society started collapsing when we became godless. Constitution built on Christian values. I don't want to get into religion, even though I am a God-fearing man and my beliefs are Judeo-Christian. I will respect the faith of everybody else, so I will not get into religion.
All right, yeah, no,
it's also wrong. I mean, like historically, the founding fathers they followed deism. They weren't really Christians. In the Orthodox sense.
Our conversation though is centering around what humans do instinctively and inherently. When we reach a certain level of that's why every major city falls. Major cities aren't rational to our conduct as Homo sapiens.
No, moreover, our continued. If you thought about, I think about the planet as an ecosystem or a biosphere, whatever, right? And it's about achieving balance. The rate at which we spread, the rate at which our population grows, it's going to cause an imbalance, which the planet itself will correct. That's what I think.
Oh, man.
See, I don't think it's the number of people. I think it's more so the consumption level and the production. I think that's really what's killing.
But that's
a byproduct of how much people.
I think those are related.
Any anthropologist, they've done studies on this. That's why none of these major metropolis cities throughout the world ever last that long. They all fall.
They do though.
Athens fell. Fucking Greek. All these big countries throughout BC to now, they don't last that long. New York's not going to last forever.
It's like UFC champions, bro. They don't last that long, bro. They
Isn't
really
it falling apart right now.
I mean, look, like I look at New York as a ticking time bomb. That train system has been in a virtual state of repair for as long as I've been alive because it's so old.
I was on the train today. Everything he's saying is 100 fucking percent fact. 100 fucking million%.
I'm telling you, they've been repairing that shit as long as I've been alive, bro. And it's like sooner or later something's gonna happen. This was not all built to last.
Like people are like thinking it's a conspiracy because all these like trains are going off the rails. But it's like, no, bro, our train system is literally built in the 1800s and 1900s. This shit is being held together by bubblegum.
Yo, and that's why I said what I said about
Ice. Piece of bubble yum, man. Shout out to
but that's why I said what I said about Ice Spice. It look alright now, but that type of shit ain't meant to last. Like she look alright now.
10 years. 10 years. Shit.
She gonna look like Carrot Top when she hit that wall.
Damn,
Ow,
God,
damn.
Damn.
Bro, look at Cameron Diaz. B, she look like Dolph Lundgren.
Oh my God.
She don't. That shit ain't meant to.
She got old. Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren, bro.
Yo, pull up a photo. Pull up a photo.
Jules is mean, man.
Nah,
he said she looks like the crypt keeper.
I must break you. What to tell you, Cameron Diaz.
Like
y'all know she's half Cuban?
I knew that. I raised her.
Nigga said I raised it. Yeah, and the way he be saying some of this shit so smoothly, niggas, if niggas was not astute enough, they would say, "Oh, word, you did."
All right. Tony Harrison versus Tim Zoom, man. Let's break that down.
I got Tim Zoom.
Tim stops him. I got Tim stopping him.
Nah, this other conversation's better.
Yeah, this other conversation's better.
Yeah.
So where's the Cameron Diaz photo?
I'm about to pull it up right now. I'm putting it together. I'm about to show you that it's something going on.
World War III.
Like
aliens,
he's right
Cameron
though. New York's
Diaz,
a ticking time bomb. What's going to happen, Jules, in New York when all the trains are automated, all the taxis are automated, and all these fools ain't got no money to make?
I'm saying that as pessimistic as I may sound, given where we are right now, you know that characteristically in the 20s of every century, there's something that happens. In the 20s of every century, we are overdue for some form of a cataclysm. I don't know what, but we are.
We are overdue for some fuck shit, and I don't like that.
I don't know if it's that gravity's gonna grab onto Ice Spice's titties. It already has Doja Cat titties. She always had dog nose tits. That's not new, bro.
Dog nose tits. Oh shit. Baby nose tits.
Bro, if you go back to shit.
So you're the one with the echo.
Oh shit. Yo.
Jules, you deceived us.
Listen,
oh my God.
I'm trying to help. And I'm about to show something to y'all, and it may disturb you.
This nigga's silly, B. He's silly.
I'm about to show
you. Really silly.
Wow.
Yo, Cameron Diaz. If you ever see Jules in the street, swing on him. Swing on him.
She looks like the bro. Have y'all ever seen The Purge? She's on the Purge side of the game.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you that when she hit that wall, B, she hit that shit face first.
Yeah, she smashed it.
Literally.
Look at that.
Literally.
She looked like she went 12 rounds with Rocky, bro.
Let me tell you something. Yo, she hit the wall so bad. She didn't even hit the wall. She went out the fucking car windshield, bro.
Bro, she slammed into the wall. And
yo, let me tell you something.
That, wait, look, Doja Cat's titties been that way, bro. That's not some new shit. Gravity had them shits already. If you look at her, she had the dog nose tits, like roar. You know,
Yep.
Yo, let me tell you something, and this is gonna be super fucked up.
Sophia, if it's not nice, then why are you laughing?
Earl Spence went to a windshield and looks a lot better than fucking. That's terrible.
And to top it off, he's been punched in the face how many times before that?
Bro, there's a rumor on Reddit that he's a hermaphrodite.
Ew.
She hit the wall like Dale Earnhardt Jr., bro.
But no, in all seriousness, I need Jake to knock out Tommy this weekend. What about you? We'll say yo.
I just laughed because what I saw on Twitter from the Golden Boy page where like an announcement can come any day now. Hopefully Monday.
Bro, you know that they said that they finalized the contracts yesterday, bro? They literally they've been they've been dangling that carrot in front of the fans for a while.
Like I said, no fight till they're in the ring.
And I honestly think, Jules, I don't think, like I said, like we talked, Showtime, Espinosa is going to go back to doing documentaries and prepare for the Super Bowl. PBC's done there. You can see it.
I mean, maybe.
Espinosa got the job at CBS as the head of sports for CBS. And
Espinosa's getting his CDL.
He does not. He's not the head of sports.
He's number 3.
He works under the head of CBS Sports.
He works under the president of sports at CBS, who works under the chairman of sports at CBS.
let me say this. What
So how the fuck
happened?
did he get a
Let me
job?
say this.
Like-
What happened is it's like any other merger, and I'm sure that you guys have been through mergers at least once in your adult lives. That one company absorbs another. The upper level management, they dip or they get fired. It's either or. Their jobs get phased out. Already, 120 jobs were phased out from Showtime. And now it's just going to trickle down. And that's why I'm wondering, like, you know what, maybe he'll take up another position at CBS if push comes to shove, you know, because I don't think there's going to be a Showtime Sports. When I just look at it outside looking in, irrespective of boxing stuff, just regular stuff that I understand, there's no reason for Showtime to be in sports.
That
sports.
passage you read on the relays tells it right there. We're looking at what's going on, and then at the end of this quarter, March 31st, we're gonna see what the fuck we're gonna cut out more. We're gonna cut more shit out.
You're gonna cut more. That's the thing, that if they already like you don't think that they're gonna stop at 120 people, do you? No, they're gonna take care of everything that led you in this direction. The upper level management, they're probably gone right now. Next is the second tier. They're not going to stop at 120 people. They're going to keep the content that works and sack the stuff that doesn't. And when you tell me that you do a fight and all it brought in on a Saturday night was 160,000 views, we look over to ESPN, 1.1 million. They're going to say, we don't need that stuff.
Yeah, we're not a sports network. We can't keep paying Steven Espinoza to serve coffee to the head of CBS Sports.
Tell me that they couldn't have played reruns of Seinfeld or Last of Us or any of those shows that are actually buzzing in that same slot, and they wouldn't have brought in more views with that than Vargas versus Foster. And bro, it hurts because I'm a boxing fan, but I'm being real with you that you could have put reruns of what's that fucking show with the blonde girl, Khaleesi?
Game of Thrones.
You could have put Game of Thrones,
and just like a PBC fight, they know what's going to happen. So,
and you could have just showed the orgy scenes, and that would have gotten more ratings than Foster versus Vargas.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that, Jules, because I like thought Game of Thrones was a porn when I first saw it, because that's the only clips I saw.
Imagine you got compare it. Looking at Khaleesi's face and her cleavage for like 36 minutes, or looking at Ray Vargas in his face for 36 minutes.
Yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna hit y'all later, man. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Peace.
Yeah, I'm about to log off right now, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Y'all stay up, stay safe.
All right,
and we'll be going live this Saturday night for Ponce versus Uriel Matias. And
what about Paul Fury?
I am going live for that too on Sunday afternoon. Y'all take care.
All right, fellas. Have a good night, Jules.